WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning. I got to tell you, I really like Robin Banks, and I like that. And you're right. I do think, Tim Reed, there's a little of Elvis Costello, but that song we just played is not necessarily Elvis Costello, I would say.
Costello-esque.
Yeah, Costello-esque. But I like that song. I do like it. And good morning.
Good morning.
We have a whole bunch to do. Tim Reed is our guest host in here this morning. And without getting into anything...
What a guy.
Without getting into anything, our family spent the night at Upstate Med ER for 6 hours, only to be told at around 10:30 that there's nothing.
Honey, go home.
honey, you're not going to see a surgeon tonight. So, and I talked a little, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing, a little bit about my son being jumped by someone.
Yep.
And that he doesn't know. Just, it's one of these, I almost feel like there's a person out there at every moment, and you got to be always on. There's a person every moment that is like, you know what? I feel like if I see anyone that's in a good mood, I'm going to be angry at them, and I'm going to jump on them and start punching them.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we discovered my son does indeed have a broken jaw, and we're racing to try to find an oral surgeon that can perform whatever has to be performed.
Wire them up.
And wire the jaw before it sets where they have to go back in and break the jaw all over again.
Yeah.
So that's what we were doing at Upstate, and they're like, "Honey, you're not gonna, honey, did they tell you you're gonna see a surgeon tonight?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, we've been here for 6 hours. Yeah. Yes, that's what we're waiting on." Yeah.
No, we're just here to watch the parade go by.
See, what you don't understand is for you, this broken jaw thing is a big deal. But what we determine is he's not going to die from the broken jaw in the next 24 hours.
Yep.
So therefore, there's someone else that's going to get the surgeon before your son.
It's a Plazar form of triage.
So without getting into my life, which... I swear could at times be an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David.
Yeah.
We're searching for somebody today, so I think he'll find somebody. Hopefully they can get him in. But the problem is in Utica, all of the oral surgeons are either on vacation or out of town.
Yeah.
Including the one that we really like. I really like Dr. Flehan.
Yeah.
Who I think is tremendous. And he is not available right now.
I guess I'm surprised that they wouldn't have, for something so specialized as that there isn't some sort of a...
Wouldn't you think?
Alliance or whatever that says that you've got to, everyone's got to kind of
I found out that WIN actually sends anyone who needs an oral surgeon, they send them out to Upstate. There is no oral surgeon that is, quote, on call at WIN. So... oh boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is what it is, and these are all learning. As I was explaining to my son, these are all things that'll make you better. These are learning experiences.
Going down that.
I'm screaming, get out of the road! Get out! You're in the left lane. We got to get home. So it's been a long day, and it'll be a long day today, but nonetheless. I do have and if I can make matters worse, so
okay, no,
you can, yeah.
You think you've gotten down to the bottom of the valley, but
I've got my own issues that I'm dealing with today that I cannot avoid. But on top of that, we're sitting in the air, and all of a sudden, a burglar alarm goes off in our home. And I'm like, what more can... Don't ask that question. Don't ask that
It's
question.
the oral surgeon breaking in to help.
So it seems that must be the door was left unlocked, and when there was a storm here, when the storm and wind blew through, it blew open the door. Yeah. And therein lies the alarm issue.
So did the police come or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Oh good.
Oh yeah. And I'm trying to talk. Meanwhile, and I
were
got
any of them an oral surgeon?
I swear to God, there's this guy who came in. By this point, it's like 9 o'clock at night, and there's a guy who came into the ER who's singing Christmas songs. And then the cop came over to the other guy and he's like, "Sir, you can't sleep in here." And he's got his head covered up and he's rocking back and forth. I don't know, humming some sort of a chant. And we're like, I am in between both of these people.
Was the chanter different than the Christmas song guy?
Definitely different, and they didn't match at all. So he's like, "Hey, we don't allow sleeping in here." So the guy wakes up for 2 seconds, and then all of a sudden he's back sleeping again. Yeah. So I feel bad for those people.
It's good, but that's the thing, right? You're feeling sorry for yourself.
That's right.
But look at those people.
I know. I mean, what does this person have to go home to? Nothing.
Well, he's not worrying. Let's put it this way: he's not worrying about his door blowing open.
That's exactly right.
with the burglar alarm.
Check with the security company. Yeah. So I do think that you have to realize anything can happen at any time. Yep. And we're always, not everybody is prepared for that moment. Most times we're not prepared. No. Right? You're in the middle of 5 things that have to be done, and wait a minute, this is going to take priority. Well, it can't, but it has to.
Yeah, we have our little structured life, and this is the way everything's supposed to be until it isn't.
Until it isn't. So, and we both know what that's like. Oh, yeah. Both for ourselves and our families.
Yeah, it's nothing more fun than having a family member with problems.
Yeah, and you have no choice but to act.
There's something I heard.
There are those people that can be like, they'll figure it out on their own. And I in a certain part of my brain, I envy those people. Yes, just a little bit.
There's a saying that says you've got 100 problems until you're sick, and then you just have one.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, and you're right. You think of these, and I honestly think these, like my wife was thinking, don't they promote here? You go to the clinic or what do they call it? The not ER, but the urgent care. Urgent care. Yeah. And she's like, I swear, like almost all of the people in here. Meanwhile, should be at urgent care. Meanwhile, there's this poor woman, old woman who's clearly fallen. Her eye is like bleeding. Oh my God. She's got to be 95 years old, and
probably is a frequent visitor.
I think she's I think she's a normal. Yeah. A normal old woman who just fell on her eye. Yeah. And there she is. There's another story I'm going to tell. There she is. She finally.
Boy, did you expect this?
As we were leaving, she finally got called in. Yeah. As we were leaving,
she got the golden ticket.
So bad for her, because that means you go to the next level. Yeah. Where you wait even further, because chances are you're going to spend all night without getting a room. Yeah. Anyway, there was a couple. They were both wearing Mets gear, so it caught my attention. Yes. And I heard the kid, and it looked like they were a newly either married or not married, I don't know. But they were a couple. And I heard him say, this was at 5 o'clock. Remember, we left at like 10:15. Yeah. This is at 5 p.m. They were still there. I even walked up to them afterwards and said, good luck. They came to Upstate Medical Emergency at 5 p.m., and I listened to him tell the person next to him, we just spent 11 hours at community hospital. They couldn't get us in. We thought we'd have better luck here. Oh my and meanwhile, God. His wife was like crouched over in pain, and they couldn't get her in. I mean, by 10 o'clock, she still wasn't in. So it just, wow, it's crazy.
Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, and you said what my wife said. And we're going to talk to John Manion coming up in a second. What my wife said on the way home was, is this the state of our medical system? Because if it is, we're in really big trouble. Because when you need it most,
Right.
and the problem is if you're in the middle, if you're moderately injured or sick,
Right.
you're stuck. Because the priority is going to be the people who need the most care, and the hospitals, the emergency rooms, they're all so short-handed,
Right.
they could barely handle them.
You know,
So,
I think the urgent care issue for you is, a lot of those are private organizations which are demanding money either up front or whatever.
And that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Yeah.
A lot of those people just simply don't have the money,
Yeah.
so they go to where they can go.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, there probably were there was a group over there, the ones that were singing, and they finally moved over into the corner. There was a chant.
They were a choral.
There's a Gregorian chant going on, and there's "Here comes Santa Claus." Here comes. It was all somehow like listening to a round.
Yeah.
And they were all grouped up together. You got one on the other. One's petting the woman's hair, and I'm like, these are all probably people who know each other from like a homeless camp.
Yep.
And it's cold tonight.
Yep.
Because none of them look like they really needed ER services.
Right.
And it's cold tonight, so they're going to do everything they can to stay awake, so they don't get kicked out and have to go outside.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Wow.
Well, and
This has been an eye opener.
And the problem
been
is
nuts.
we're an older,
yes, and there's more need,
sick
more
community,
demand. Yeah.
and yet we're the ones that have the least amount of resource to be able to handle it.
Very scary.
It's a bad formula.
So it's on my mind. Congressman John Manion is coming right in. We're going to quickly break and come back and bring him right in because we've got him early here this morning as he has some stuff going on here. And stand by. We'll come right back. I'm going to take a deep breath.
You better
breath.
Practice some mindfulness.
And we'll come back at WIBX.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. The Oneida City School District is working closely with the State Ed Department to come up with a split schedule for students. Hundreds of Oneida High School students will be taking classes at Otto Shorell Middle School after the high school was severely damaged by flooding in June. The idea is for high schoolers to have classes in the first half of the day and middle schoolers the second half. The new academic year is expected to start September 4th. The Oneida County Health Department is confirming a bat is tested positive for rabies in South Utica. According to the agency, one person and 2 cats were exposed to the bat. The cats were treated with booster shots for their rabies vaccinations, and the person is also going to make a full recovery. Some signs of rabies in animals are frothing at the mouth, restlessness, and seizures. Anyone who notices these symptoms should contact their local animal control officer. The Rome City Police Department and Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers asking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to Detective Shane Riolo of the Rome Police Department, police are searching for 19-year-old Logan M. Shaler, who was last known to be living in the city of Rome. Riolo says Shaler is wanted on 2 separate accounts for failing to appear in front of Rome City Court. Riolo says Shaler has no known address, but is believed to be either in Rome or Utica. A Herkimer County man was arrested after state police say they found crack cocaine, methamphetamine, and drug paraphernalia during a search of his Dolgeville home. On Wednesday, state police executed a search warrant at the home of 42-year-old Antoine D. Goodwin. Troopers say he was arrested and charged with 3rd and 4th degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, 3 counts of 2nd degree criminal using drug paraphernalia as well. Goodwin was arraigned in Herkimer County Court, bail at $50,000 cash, $200,000 bond. He was sent to Herkimer County Jail. That's the latest. I'm Doug Cowan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Continuing to see improving and some beautiful weather here as we push on through the daytime hours today, tomorrow, Saturday. A little patchy fog this morning with some clouds and then some sunshine. Should get up close to 80 degrees. Tonight, clear. Lows will be in the low 50s. North Country will be cooler naturally and wrapping up the week Friday with sunshine 83. Sunny Saturday, warmer upper 80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Currently, we have clouds and 56. We'll talk to Congressman John Manion next on WIBX.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Take home a tie-dye Saratoga tote bag Friday, August 22nd, free with paid admission while supplies last. Then join us Saturday, August 23rd for a loaded DraftKings Travers Day featuring 6 graded stakes races. Save $5 on admission when you buy in advance. The Saratoga Summer Meet continues through Labor Day. For giveaway schedule and tickets, visit nyra.com.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning. Good morning. I said, did I say this on the air?
Yeah.
To Congressman Manion, I'm going to do my best to not talk about my personal life today.
Yeah.
And he said, well, you're not doing a very good job of it at this point.
We know each other a little bit, Keeler, so I felt like I could take a little shot there. But obviously, this is a serious thing, and you're a human being, as is your son. It's very
Some people don't believe it.
They're
but yes.
very
people
disturbing,
don't.
you know. And I wish him the best and hope he gets.
Can I just say that, and I know we're going to talk about school, back to school, but before we get to that, obviously the topic that is on my mind is healthcare, and whether it be here or in Syracuse, or anywhere in the state of the country, COVID has really dealt it a major blow.
It really did. We had to, our healthcare systems and our healthcare workers did a fantastic job through all that. And I get to see that here in Utica, Central New York, the Mohawk Valley, we're really blessed and have been blessed with a robust healthcare system. Now we've got challenges as it relates to staffing, and certainly challenges when it comes to revenue. You know, part of the reason, not to shift to this immediately, but when we are talking about Medicaid cuts, we can talk about where we can try to save. That's true, but that's revenue for our hospital systems that need it. That's one thing. And you talk to any hospital administrator, they'll say, we've already had to make tough decisions. I think what you're dealing with right now is a result of some of those decisions where we don't necessarily have the people and the access to services already, and with a decrease in revenue, tougher decisions are going to have to be made. And some of these hospital systems are getting out of certain things that we really need now, like substance abuse and mental health care.
It's not profitable.
It's not profitable. And that's, I think many of us who have lived here, who we used to be able to get an appointment very quickly or a CAT scan very quickly or whatever we needed. Now it's a different kind of situation, and we've come to expect it. So, these hospitals are not for profit, but they got to pay the bills and balance the books, and they're making these tough decisions, and it's not to our benefit a lot of the time.
And I will make one note. I'm probably I talk to a lot of people, and I'm friends with a lot of people. And when, you're in need and you have a problem, you have people you can call. Imagine what it's like for people who don't have that support system.
That's absolutely right. And, when we talk about our hospitals, I was just thinking this when I was listening to you earlier, and you talk about going to an ER in the beds. Yeah. There's such a backup in the system. We go to like nursing care or long-term care. Some folks that really go to a hospital to get care, they should be offboarded to a rehab program or something else. And we don't, that offboarding isn't there. So there's a logjam. But again, I talk to people every day. Now they call it the sandwich generation, right? So I'm where my parents have passed, but when you're caring for the generation on each side of you,
some people have left their jobs or moved back home because if they don't come and do that for their family member, nobody's going to, or they don't know where to turn, to your point, and having that support system. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's something to think about. So when you see somebody that needs a little something, you might want to step up if you can. Right. Okay. So speaking of that, I know we're talking about back to school. Oneida City School District has just had a real, being someone that's in education, you understand the challenges for that Board of Education, the administration, and the superintendent.
I absolutely do. I went and visited Oneida City Schools. I saw where those electrical systems were and saw how, to the extent that they had been submerged. And I don't envy members of the school board or administrations. They have a difficult job. We are here to help. There is, in the federal space, there is some emergency low-interest loans through a couple programs that I talked with the superintendent about, Matt Carpenter. But they've got tough decisions to make in a very narrow period of time, and they don't want to disrupt it for these kids. They, when they looked at a couple different options, Rome Catholic and Bishop Grimes, they weren't going to work. This is not an ideal setting, and I feel for those kids.
Yeah.
My kids had a similar situation because they were in high school during COVID. They lost a lot. I'm sure, the administration is going to do everything they can to make this as good of a year as they can for these kids, but it's going to be a challenging one. They can't open that school. The equipment won't arrive for 6 months, and it is an opportunity for major renovation. I wanted to say one more thing about it, but I think it left me, which is, I
understand.
I feel for those. I feel for those kids and the administrators. They want normalcy for their kids. In teaching kids, you need to decrease the number of variables out there, and they've just increased them significantly outside of their control.
I know Matt Carpenter. I think we had him yesterday, right? And he said, the difficult thing is, no matter what decision we make, there are going to be a lot of people unhappy about it.
That's right.
So there's nothing they can do that's going to keep everybody happy. So
very
it's like,
tough
situation.
You want to do the least bad decision.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
And obviously, an unexpected event and now a very quick turnaround.
Yeah.
It's not easy to pivot on a dime and provide for those kids. But I know teachers and teaching assistants and administrators, they care about those kids, and they're going to do everything they can to make it as normal as possible and as good of an experience as possible.
You have a back-to-school forum. We'll parlay into this that is coming up on Monday.
I do, yeah. So on Monday, we are going to bring together, you could call it a forum, you could call it a town hall, students, teachers, school administrators, and myself, other advocates for education, and you can go to our website if you want to participate. It's Monday at 6 o'clock. It's in a Utica City school, and I come from a background of education, and there's lots of talk, obviously, about education and the changes that are occurring. One thing that's happening in the state is a cell phone ban, which I taught before cell phones. I taught after cell phones. I'm supportive of it because I do see the distractibility. It can be used as a tool, but usually it's not. And but for parents, as a parent, my kids are older now. They got used to be able to communicate with their kids, and I know they want to still be able to communicate with their kids. And I hope that everybody is in agreement in compliance. We are dealing with kids, so it's not so easy. But we need everybody to support the process because I think in the interest of the education of those kids, it is in their best interest. And they will hopefully still be able to get a hold of their parents if they need to.
Well, I think that is one of the was one of the prerequisites. It's interesting. Sienna did their poll this week. There's a lot of stuff to unpack in that poll, but one of the parts of the poll were issues that they dealt with, and one of them was the cell phone ban. Now they've polled everyone but the students. And because I think you kind of know what the students would have to say. Although there will be some that'll be like, take a responsible approach to it, but for the most part. But parents, PTA, teachers, administrators, it seems like everybody's on board that something needs to be done with this.
I said this before, they allowed cell phones to work. or allowed kids to have cell phones in class, because we had some very strong policies on it. It was almost impossible to enforce. I was teaching juniors in high school, but I said, as a biology teacher, we're going through the largest experiment in the history of human beings, where we all grew up climbing trees and playing baseball and everything else. And now you got a group of kids, you took 11-year-olds and you handed them the world in their hands, and companies that have algorithms that are going to make it even more challenging and more addictive for them to break away from that. We're all subjected to it. So this is the right move, and I think some would say it took too long to get here. I mean, I've met with parents who have had the worst case scenario for their kids because of bullying or because of predatory actions. I mean, it's awful. So,
and sometimes the actions are how do we say, consensual, and that becomes a problem. And on its, I mean, what an amazing tool. And every amazing tool has...
It could be a hammer to build a house or hit someone over the head.
That's exactly right.
That's right. So, the human brain is a delicate thing. It certainly is.
I want to ask you, obviously, redistricting is a big deal, and it is... We just went through it, and you were certainly a part of that.
I was.
Trying to figure out where you're running, what's your district going to be, who's your opponent going to be, and are we going through that all over again? One of the things that Senator Joe Griffo said is, in New York, we have a constitutional amendment to look at, but this has been passed by the House in Texas, so it's moving forward, and boy, we're all against gerrymandering. But all of a sudden, this has become hyper-political to the point where, and I'll tell you, and I'm sure you've heard it in the House, that the Texans will say, the Democrats have already done it to the point where it's unfair. Now we have to equalize, and that's their approach.
Right. Well, first of all, what's happening in Texas is wrong. I think it's atrocious. We can talk about, this administration, but I think... a lot of people are very upset with some of the actions and, our tariff policy that's supposed to be under, the legislature control only in emergency situations would the executive be able to take that over. But what we're seeing, we have a process here, and the process is we have a census, then there's a reapportionment. Each state has their process. What's happening in Texas is, basically like, okay, we're worried. These policies don't seem to be popular everywhere, and we're afraid we're going to lose the House, and that's not the way it should be. The redraw mid-decade or into the decade is not what's supposed to happen. Senator Griffo is absolutely correct. I'm sure he did a great job of explaining where we are in New York State, which is years ago on a bipartisan basis. There was a good faith attempt with an independent commission. And we have rules around that. So for Texas, they can just bring a vote up. The war that's happening in redistricting in the states is not good. Having, elected people choose their voters versus the other way, not good. In New York State, the reason we had a redraw was we had some court cases. The Republicans went to the court, said these maps need to go. The courts agreed. There was a redraw then. There were more court cases as a result of saying these were only supposed to be temporary maps. By and large, the maps we have in New York State, there was consensus around them. That independent commission did vote for them. The legislature eventually voted for them. So it is a process in New York State that's not as simple as the Assembly and the Senate. We will see if the war escalates, if I can say it that way. If it does, I think we're going to be back in the courts.
Are you confident that if this actually passes in Texas, that California will make the next move?
I think California's going. I think they're going. Absolutely. And this is not good. This is where, somehow we got to get through this and go, okay, we need what we are trying to do here in New York, what the Republicans and Democrats before I was in office tried to do, and the voters supported in a constitutional amendment that says we have an independent commission. Now it's really like 5 Dems and 5 Republicans. It's got to be legislature approved. If it's not, it goes to the legislature. That is what has happened. sometimes. So anyway, I'm in this. I left a job I loved to do the right thing and to get the polarization, the toxicity out of politics. Sometimes I do a great job at that. Sometimes I might participate in it a little. But by and large, we got to get to a point where we stop this. We got to stop it. It is contributing to the polarization, and this is like hyper-polarized now.
It is, and I hate to think that if with the midterms just coming up around the corner before you know it, we're going to be pounded with commercial after commercial here. I almost feel as if the Democrats can get control of one of the houses, that we're just going to be back to nothing getting done. I mean, I'm not sure we're going to be anywhere ahead of where we are right now.
Sure. Listen, it's easy to finger point, but like you heard with the continuing resolution that we voted on down there, and then this piece of legislation, the bill, we could call it the beautiful bill, the billionaire bill, the ugly bill. But part of what you would hear that we've kind of lost is that we have a history of working together, meaning both parties, and a negotiation through a continuing resolution or a budget bill. That has not, it wasn't my experience here in the House over the first 8 months is that didn't happen. So it's like, if we can shore up our votes in our party solo, we can do this on our own. And that is what we've seen. I will talk about being disabilities chair in the New York State Senate, and I hope, Senator Griffo and others may agree. I was on a committee that I chaired, and in committee, sometimes a Republican would come up to me and go, John, I like this legislation. It's updating a task force, or it's creation of a new task force to help people with disabilities, or, autism awareness, whatever it might be. We don't have any Republican appointments. It's all the governor, the majority. And I would pull that legislation and I would bring it back to my leadership. My leadership would go, well, when the Republicans were in. But I had the luxury of saying, this is the Committee on Disabilities.
Right.
If there's anything, my legislation in committee would almost pass unanimously every time. And then on the floor unanimously that came through the committee, whether it was my own bill or otherwise. That was a great opportunity to show bipartisanship and almost force bipartisanship. So I would get that legislation amended and bring it back to the table because it was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
John, it feels to me like, and talking about the disabilities in regards to it, it just feels like, it's like labor negotiations or whatever it is. You want to start at the place of yes. Where is the place where there's some sort of common cause?
Yeah.
Because then that kind of gets the ball rolling. If you start at the place of no, it never gets to the place of yes.
That's right. And I was, I was a teacher while I was still teaching. I was a union president, so I did negotiate. And we knew we had to reach a resolution.
Right.
I couldn't say, well, listen, I'm going to take the 400 teachers, nurses, school psychologists, and social workers that I represent, and we're going to go do our own thing. And that's not how it works, right? So I totally agree with you, and I think that coming with that perspective, it's helpful to me. I continue to do my job. I co-sponsor legislation that is primarily sponsored by Republicans. I'm on permitting bills for permitting reform. I've got my own legislation that we try to get co-sponsors on both parties to support. So you got to continue to do the work. I voted yes on, I've got some members that are in my party that are like, teach them a lesson and vote no on everything. That's just not going to, it's not effective, and it's not good for the people that I represent. We're not in a better place. I got into this to try to get us into a better place, and it's true. It's on steroids right now.
Oh, it really is. Your head spins when you look at all of the headlines. It normally would just be a major headline. Now there are so many of them on a daily basis, you can't keep up.
I have to say, when I was a state senator,
about a minute.
Okay, I'll be quick, which is not a strength. 30 out of 33 municipalities that I represented as a state senator were run by Republicans. I just went to an event with village mayors, mostly Onondaga, some Madison, mostly Republican, but I've helped them secure state grants. We're positively moving through the appropriations process on federal grants. I don't pick winners and losers. I picked, I work with everybody to help our communities. And that is what's great about Central New York and the Mohawk Valley. We're down the middle and we work together. And, I had a great night last night. We didn't really talk politics. In fact, we had some good fun with each other on the politics. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, that forum, by the way, Back to School Forum is Monday, and you can go to your website for details on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Keeler. Thank you.
Got a break. We have news coming right up next.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
It's red states versus blue states. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Lawmakers in Texas and California could vote today on congressional redistricting. The one in Texas goes before the state Senate today after the House passed it, with GOP State Rep Todd Hunter saying,
each of these newly drawn districts now trend Republican in political performance.
Many Texas Democrats have left the state for 2 weeks, blocking that vote. Now, Fox's Garrett Tenney reports from the Capitol in Austin.
Democrats are optimistic about their chances to win an injunction against the new map, though, given that every decade since 1965, when the Voting Rights Act went into effect, federal courts have found at least one of Texas's maps to be in violation of it. Republicans, though, are adamant that they are on solid legal ground and that Democrats are simply grasping at straws.
Now, in California, it's Republicans trying to block the Democratic redistricting, though the state Supreme Court refused to intervene.
I do believe people want to be empowered, and we want the power of the people, not the politicians.
GOP State Senator Tony Strickland, the plan the legislature is poised to approve would ask voters in a special election in November to bypass an independent redistricting commission and okay new maps that could give Democrats 5 more House seats in the 2026 elections. The U.S. and European allies keep working on a possible security guarantee for Ukraine. As Vice President Vance tells Fox, they are committed to
bring a 3.5-year, very brutal conflict to a stop.
But Russia insists it has to be involved in any potential security guarantee, and it went on the attack again overnight, launching missiles and more than 500 drones into Ukraine, days after Trump meetings with Russian leader Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, who condemned the new Russian onslaught, saying it's as if nothing is changing at all. Hurricane Erin still moving out to sea, but affecting the East Coast.
50 miles per hour just offshore of the coastal areas of North Carolina.
That's Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. The Outer Banks is also getting high surf. There are beach closings all across the East Coast. America's listening to Fox News.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down, get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
That controversial congressional redistricting in Texas, not the only issue lawmakers are focused on in their special session.
27 young girls died July 4th when floodwaters swept through Camp Mystic along the Guadalupe River. The girls' parents testifying before a Texas Senate committee Wednesday, demanding change. Blake Bonner's 8-year-old daughter Lila was one of the victims.
They did exactly what they were told to do that morning: stay in their cabins. Our daughters paid the ultimate price for their obedience to a plan that was destined to fail.
A new Texas camp safety bill that leadership promises to pass will incorporate feedback from parents to include mandating new training and to remove summer camp cabins from floodplains. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Now another controversial issue in Texas. A federal judge's ruling related to religion in school.
Texas cannot require public schools in Houston, Austin, and certain other districts to display the 10 Commandments in every classroom. This comes after a group of families sought a preliminary injunction or a pause against that law set to go into effect September 1st. They say that requirement violates the First Amendment's protections for the separation of church and state and the right to free religious exercise. Courts have blocked similar recent laws in Louisiana and Arkansas. The widening legal fight is expected to eventually go before the Supreme Court. Angelo Bavaro, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down more than 100 points for the Dow. In baseball, another Yankee power surge.
There it goes! See ya!
Austin Wells hit 2 home runs, so did Trent Grisham, as New York hit 5 in a 6-4 win over Tampa Bay on yesterday after hitting 9 homers, giving the Yankees 14 in 2 games, tying a Major League record. New York's won 5 straight games. Philadelphia beat Seattle, the Phillies' 4th win in a row, the Mariners' 5th consecutive loss. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. The Oneida City School District is working closely with the State Ed Department to come up with a split schedule for students. Hundreds of Oneida High School students will be taking classes at Otto Shorell Middle School after the high school was severely damaged by flooding in June. The idea is for high schoolers to have classes in the first half of the day and middle schoolers the second half. The new academic year is expected to start September 4th. The Oneida County Health Department is confirming a bat is tested positive for rabies in South Utica. According to the agency, 1 person and 2 cats were exposed to the bat. The cats were treated with booster shots for their rabies vaccinations, and the person is also going to make a full recovery. Some signs of rabies in animals are frothing at the mouth, restlessness, and seizures. Anyone who notices these symptoms should contact their local animal control officer. The Rome City Police Department and Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers asking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to Detective Shane Riolo of the Rome Police Department, police are searching for 19-year-old Logan M. Shaler, who was last known to be living in the city of Rome. Riolo says that Shaler is wanted on 2 separate accounts for failing to appear in front of Rome City Court. Riolo says Shaler has no known address, but is believed to be either in Rome or Utica. A Herkimer County man was arrested after state police say they found crack cocaine, methamphetamine, and drug paraphernalia during a search of his Dowdesville home. On Wednesday, state police executed a search warrant at the home of 42-year-old Antoine D. Goodwin. Troopers say he was arrested and charged with 3rd and 4th degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, 3 counts of 2nd degree criminal using drug paraphernalia as well. Goodwin was arraigned in Herkimer County Court, bail at $50,000 cash, $200,000 bond. He was sent to Herkimer County Jail. It was move-in day for many college students across the region yesterday and throughout this week. The annual college tradition was also held at Utica University on Wednesday. Freshmen enjoying campus festivities as a welcome to the area and the campus throughout the week. The Central New York area is sharing a portion of more than $40 million being awarded for youth employment programs. The region is receiving over $3 million as part of an ongoing effort to reduce gun violence by providing employment and training opportunities to at-risk youth. The 2025-26 Youth Employment Program runs from September 1st through June 30th. NASCAR will be making its annual trip to upstate New York next year, but on a different date than usual. The sanctioning body said yesterday the 2026 Cup Series race at Watkins Glen International is happening on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 10th. In years past, the stars of that series have taken to the 2.45-mile road course in August or September. Tickets for the race weekend are already available at theglen.com. At day 2 of the New York State Fair, we'll see better late summer weather. Sunshine and upper 70s will develop today after rain kept numbers low for opening day on Wednesday. In sports, the Giants close out the preseason tonight. New York hosting New England at MetLife Stadium. The G-Men open the regular season on the road when they visit the Washington Commanders on September 7th. The Bills finish preseason Saturday night at 7:30 at Tampa Bay. And the Jets wrap up the preseason hosting the Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow night. In baseball, the Mets came up short, falling to the Nationals 5-4 from D.C. Brett Beatty went deep for the 15th time after slugging a solo shot. New York's winning streak is over at 3 games. The Mets wrap up their 3-game series, the rubber match, this afternoon in Washington. And the Yankees swept their 2-game set against the Rays after picking up a 6-4 victory in 10 innings from Tampa. Trent Grisham and Austin Wells each slugged a pair of home runs for the Bronx Bombers, who have won 5 straight now. New York will host the Boston Red Sox for a 4-game series that begins tonight at Yankee Stadium. The Liberty are back in action tonight. New York is hosting Chicago Sky in Brooklyn. And in the World Series, the Little League World Series, Connecticut continues to roll in the Little League World Series. Fairfield National Little League topped Las Vegas, Nevada, 7-3 in Williamsport. The New England Region champions have booked their spot in the United States Championship game coming up this Saturday afternoon. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Continuing to see improving and some beautiful weather here as we push on through the daytime hours today, tomorrow, Saturday. A little patchy fog this morning with some clouds and then some sunshine. Should get up close to 80 degrees. Tonight, clear. Lows will be in the low 50s. North Country will be cooler naturally and wrapping up the week Friday with sunshine, 83. Sunny Saturday, warmer, upper 80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, we have clouds and 57, but it's going to be pretty nice, right? Not a bad day on the way today. New York State Fair got hammered yesterday with rain through the day.
Oh, yeah?
And forget the rain, it was cold.
Yes, it was.
It was cold.
It was a lovely fall day.
Yeah. A lovely fall
Late
day.
fall day.
Late fall day. It was like something you'd see in late October with leaves. The only thing that wasn't happening was all the leaves flying all over the place.
You know, I just saw something last night. They're saying because of the dryness that we're seeing, we're starting to see an early leaf drop. And
okay.
I kind of noticed that there's a lot
Yeah,
of
we were. Somebody was just talking about it yesterday. They had leaves. Wayne, I think, was saying some leaves already coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may see that, I guess. Okay. Although the rain that we did get in the last 24 hours was much needed.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, definitely needed. Unless you really like a crunchy front lawn. If you like that, then all good.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. Davey, this morning, Hobica's free money question of the day. And it is worth how much money?
$250.
$250.
Is
okay.
Mike going to text in and criticize me that
No!
you're going to change the amount?
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna personally.
Look at that.
I'm gonna let you.
He's,
I'm gonna let you have it.
He's suffering from sleep deprivation.
That's right.
He can't screw
I
you up.
don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. So.
Mike's going to text in and say, "Why you gave you a hard time every time?"
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do that. $250. We'll do that at 7:35. We'll speak with Ryan Schmelz coming up next hour. Tom Stebbins is an attorney. Apparently, in New York State, is it New York where?
Yes.
About $2 billion in insurance fraud last year.
Correct.
And we're talking about there's this Russian gang problem where there are fraudulent back surgeries. Again, leave it to the world to find some sort of a unique nook and cranny to be able to take advantage of.
Niche industry.
Yeah. So we'll get into that with attorney Tom Stebbins coming up in a second. And Schmel's topic is federal officials reporting hundreds of arrests, including some MS-13 gang members. We'll see there. And did you see that I think they're talking about creating a fleet of airplanes for ICE.
Yes.
So that they can ship people easily out of the country.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like the old Con Air.
We must have a lot of rapists and bad people in this country.
Yes.
Yeah, well, of course.
There's people punching people in the face.
That's exactly right. That's right. That's
Send them out.
That's right here. I got a few we could export. Anyway, we'll get into all that. Ann in Rome is on right now. Ann, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know if it's the chemo firing me up today, Bill. I'll blame it on that.
You blame it on the...
she had it pre-chemo.
I got to blame it on something.
Yes.
Listen, Congressman Manion talked about this gerrymandering and all these people, these Congress people in Texas. I want to know if they got paid for hiding and flying all over the country on taxpayer dollars. Because I never had a job where you didn't call in and you got paid for it. Because if that's the case, I might be running for Congress.
Yeah, that. Well, there are a lot of congressional perks that you could take advantage.
Yes.
I believe that running and hiding is one of those, and getting paid for it.
And that's disgusting. Not on taxpayer dollars. We're paying for enough crap
Yeah.
we shouldn't be paying for.
Well, can we all agree on this though, Ann, that it would be a better place if we would just across the board find some real independent agency or group of people who could create these districts throughout the country that have nothing to do, that don't pick winners and losers, that are best for representation of these communities.
Right, and I think they should go door to door. I don't care how they do it. Count citizens, not illegals, to vote.
Well, there are none of those left. I believe they're out, and, well, we'll find some. We're going to find some.
And the other thing I wanted to say is he's talking about we should be bipartisan. With the wars that Donald Trump, my best president ever, has ended and is trying to end again. More wars.
I don't mean to. I don't. Which of those wars? Can we name the wars that he's ended?
Syria.
Okay.
There was. I want to say Iran. There's at least
I think
four.
the Syria thing kind of came before.
And
Trump.
the one he just had, I couldn't pronounce the names if I tried.
Right, those two that he had in the Oval Office there. That's the only one I can think of.
No, there's at least four, maybe
4 or 5
7.
wars. Yeah.
Okay, maybe 7.
All right.
So I don't care how big or small they were, he's saving lives.
All right.
He never said one word about giving this man credit for ending these wars and trying to end the other ones.
Well, because I
All
really,
the Dems are doing is slamming them.
honestly, there aren't 7. He'll tell you there's 7, but they're not 7, and that's
Well, they named
you
them.
can't
I'm going
expect.
to look it up and I'll send it to you.
You can't expect him to be like, I got to tell you, I think Trump has done I mean, especially with it, in my opinion, Ann, and I know we're on different sides of this topic, I just think the Russian-Putin meeting was terrible. It was like a French kiss session. It was like rolling out the red carpet for I'm sorry, it was terrible. And
the number of wars is 6, and I can do a
6.
screenshot
All right.
and send
All right.
it to
Send it to me. I'll believe it. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
And that's what
Listen.
I'm saying. Give the guy credit where
Okay.
credit's due.
All right.
Come on.
Well, I thought he treated Putin really well. I'll give him credit for that. That I will give him credit for.
Well, it wouldn't matter what he did because the Democrats would find fault.
Would be
they even
against him
found
anyway.
fault that they gave him a small red carpet. He had a small red carpet because he was the only one. Putin was the only one walking on it.
Yeah.
The wider one was for the two of them.
Okay.
That's what they're worried about. But anyway,
Well, I'm not worried about the red carpet. There's a lot more to worry about than the red
and
carpet.
that's what these Dems need to realize.
That's a very good
They
point.
got to pick on something.
All right. So,
Okay, buddy.
and can I just ask you? You had a big day yesterday. This is the
Yes.
area where you and I completely agree, because I have my own little issues to deal with, and you and I oftentimes talk about your issues and my issues, and you were out there yesterday.
Yes, and September 3rd is going to be the tell-all.
Okay.
Yep.
And that is the problem with this, right? We all it's like, all right, we're going to go this next time. We're going to find out for sure. And then they're like, well, we're going to let you know for sure next time.
Yeah, well, they said they actually can't give me a solid answer until they look at the PET scan.
Well,
how things are going, if I'll need radiation.
I got to tell you, can I say that you have so many people in this audience who are, believe it or not, on both sides of their opinions.
I did notice that.
Are on both sides. Can you imagine? That all are able to say, let's put politics aside, and we're all on Ann's side.
And I
as she fights
appreciate it.
this.
I really do.
Yeah. We appreciate you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you.
Bye.
Ann and Rome. Right? I mean, and Tim, you know full well when real men get tested.
Yep.
We can agree on that one thing, and it is amazing how much they can do today.
Absolutely.
With people who have come down with certain cancers.
And
there's more to come.
More to come.
Yeah.
More to come.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
All right, coming up, we're going to speak about Russia. Now, I don't think Trump has anything to do with this. I want to preface this so we can talk about Russia. And this is not about Trump. This is about Russian gangs.
Yes.
And taking advantage of our democracy, and because we just leave ourselves wide open.
Yeah.
But if anybody can pull off a real good scam, it's the Russians. And they are when it comes to something as important to so many people as back surgery.
Yes.
So what's happening?
So Tom Stebbins, who represents the, and I had a chance to be able to hear Tom speak last week. He represents the Lawsuit Reform Alliance of New York. And New York, surprise, surprise, has the worst problem in regards to fraudulent lawsuits in regards to insurance in the country. We're 50 of 50. And the number has just spiked.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah. Well, we've got to be number one.
Yeah.
So and
or number 50.
Yeah, or the number. So and I believe the number that he has said is at this point in time we're at $2 billion.
Wow.
So that's a real number. And he was talking specifically about this issue with these fraudulent back surgeries.
So they're coming in and they're claiming to have a problem, but really don't.
Right. So
okay.
Yeah.
Let me bring. Can I keep going, Davey? Let me do that. Tom Stebbins is an attorney and is dealing with insurance fraud, specifically here in New York. Tom, good morning. Explain what's happening here and how this Russian gang or these gangs fit in.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. What's happening right now is they are currently ferrying in migrants, mostly from Central America, and they get them to stage fraudulent construction accidents or fraudulent auto accidents, and then they get these Russian mobster doctors to cut them open. And the reason that they do that is that if you show a jury a plaintiff with their back flayed open and screws in their spine, you lose. You lose that case, regardless of what the facts of the case are. And because New York is the way it is, the case don't really matter. We have something in New York known as the scaffold law, which says that under any circumstances, even if the plaintiff was intoxicated or not following safety standards or whatever, it's the fault of the employer. And similarly, we have this in auto, where if you get into an accident, we have something called no fault. So it doesn't really matter what the facts of the case are. It's everybody's going to pay.
Right.
And so these Russian mobsters have started to take advantage of this. Not started. They've been doing this for years. They did this recruiting homeless people to do slip and fall cases. And they gin them up with all sorts of surgeries. And then we end up paying for that. Anybody who pays auto insurance, anybody who pays homeowner insurance, anybody who pays general liability insurance, they end up paying for all of this fraud. And that's why it's a real problem. That's why we're trying to get the word out to let people know that this is something that's happening. It's driving up their insurance rates, and it's criminal activity. It's literally maiming people, and it's costing all of us billions of dollars.
Yeah, are we in a situation where where it's almost as if we know this corruption is going on and we build it into the budget? Well, so much is going to go to corruption, and so we'll raise the rates based accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. And one of the people who's paying a lot of this is our government, right? The deepest pockets around. And so, for example, New York City spent over $2 billion, and that was the number that was mentioned, $2 billion in lawsuits and litigation. That's more than the next 19 largest U.S. cities combined. It's more than we spend on parks, libraries, and aging combined, right? So whether or not you are, a right of center and you want lower taxes, or whether or not you want left of center and you want more services, it doesn't matter. Both of these are getting sucked away to these gangs, really, literally on the backs of migrants. And that's what's happening right now. And one of the ways we've exposed this is tracking down where these people are coming from. And we have found dozens of addresses with dozens of people who live there who all had catastrophic construction injuries requiring spinal fusions. So you have 47 people who all allegedly lived in the same two-bedroom apartment who have all had spinal fusions from the same doctor and have all had multi-million-dollar construction claims.
Wow.
Right? That's an obvious sign of fraud, and that's the kind of thing we're starting to expose.
So we're literally using poor people without the means to know any better or without the means to fight. We're just using those people, these gangs are, in order to make money.
Yeah, essentially, MS-13 provides the bodies, and then the Russian mobs provide the surgeons and the lawyers and the lenders. So essentially, what happens is these migrants, they get, say, $10,000 up front, but then say, oh, we're going to have a multi-million-dollar claim. But then the mobsters make sure that the lawyer who's mobbed up gets a third, the doctor gets a third, and the lender, they get them involved in these predatory loans. The lender takes the rest. So on these multi-million-dollar cases, the migrant is oftentimes sent back to the shelter, unable to work ever again because they've had a spinal fusion, and they got $10,000 up front. And all of these other aspects of the fraud ring take the rest of the money. And there's literally thousands of these cases. And not many people are talking about it because these migrants don't want to tell anybody. They don't want to talk to anybody. In the current ICE environment, they're terrified they're going to get deported right away. So they don't want to talk to anybody, and especially saying, hey, I committed fraud. Like that's a one-way ticket to wherever they're from, and they don't want to do that, right? So and it's perfectly understandable.
Meanwhile, there was a case here where three people got together and right?
Yes.
And created this this situation where one hit the other with a vehicle, and one was, quote unquote injured. They both filed the insurance claim, but the whole thing was staged, and they got caught, and we threw the book at them. So these smaller cases, which, I don't know, what would somebody make off that, like $50,000? These smaller cases, we're getting to the bottom of those. But this is almost like a network that we can't touch that's costing billions of dollars.
Yeah, and it's affecting everyone. I mean, it used to be you would go around and you would see little Uber signs or Lyft. They would be very clear about the fact that they were driving for rideshare. They don't do that anymore because what started happening is these staged accident fraudsters would start to target their cars because they knew that they had to carry more insurance. And that's what all of this is for. This is all to defraud insurance. So they would look for those Uber cars or those Lyft cars, and they would cut them off, and they would stop as quickly as they can to try to get an accident.
Yeah.
And they would pile 5 people in that car, and every single one of those people had surgeries, guess what? All from the same doctor who cuts on command, right? And that's exactly what they're trying to do. And some people might have seen a video from the Belt Parkway where these people cut them off, they missed, and then they just put the car into reverse and smashed into them, right? And everybody gets out of the car practically winning an Oscar saying, oh, my back, oh, my neck. But the whole thing was staged, and that's the whole point. They just want to stage these accidents, and it's what's driving the insurance rates for the rest of us.
And Tom, one of the things that you had mentioned last week, too, was that these surgeons are basically – every single one of these surgeries are really failures. So, the injuries are all over the place in regards to it. And here you have a poor person who's had a spinal fusion in regards to it that doesn't – they're going to live their lives in a life of pain and suffering.
Yeah, and because these surgeons don't really care, right? And there was a surgeon, actually, a cover story in Newsday last week where a surgeon said, he filed these massive reports, and 38 times they were exactly word for word the same, right? Whether the person was 65 or 25, he filed a report saying he did exactly the same thing word for word. And always, to your point, they always mess it up. They always need more surgery. And so at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, well, doctor, why do you continue to do this surgery if it never works, right? Either you're doing something unnecessary or you're bad at your job. You don't want to do things. So why do you keep doing it?
I want to ask, and part of the problem, and tell me if I'm wrong, part of the problem is that there's a network of bottom feeders, if you will, who have may have no relation to the scam, who are benefiting. I mean, for every case, there are people who are making money. There are attorneys that are going to be making a percentage of that based on the fact that that these are the cases that they do, which kind of keeps this thing alive and keeps it going.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we are really noticing is that the people staging these accidents are oftentimes the victims, right? They are being told that if they, by their coyotes, the people that are trafficking them, saying, you have to do this or we're going to murder your family.
Right. Yeah.
And so that they end up being the victims in these scams, and these attorneys and these doctors and these lenders are the puppeteers really masterminding the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the people actually staging the accidents are oftentimes victims of human trafficking and victims of these extortion schemes. So, we're really trying to focus on the masterminds, which is why we have a bill right now that we're pushing in Albany to make this a felony. Because right now, staging an accident is a misdemeanor. So we want to make that a felony. And a lot of the insurers and Uber and others are filing these RICO claims, these racketeering claims, essentially saying that these doctors and lawyers and lenders are really racketeering and masterminding all of this, even though they're not the ones staging the accident.
Where can people go to learn more about this and ultimately maybe put pressure on their legislators to say we have to do something about this?
Yeah, you can go to LRANY.org. That's the Lawsuit Reform Alliance of New York.org, and hopefully we can start fixing this and lowering insurance rates for everybody.
All right. Boy, wouldn't that be great? That would be wonderful. Tom Stebbins, thank you for the time. We appreciate it, and very insightful. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day. Coming up, we'll do the free money question of the day from Hobica. It's worth today
$250.
$250. Okay, and normally this is the time where we would do and I'm going to ask you to grab your phones, grab your computers, get ready to go to the WIBX website to see. Do it right now. You're going to want to, I'm telling you. Otherwise, this introduction will not work. All right? Go to the front page of the IBX website. And now, ladies and gentlemen, instead of the wanted person of the week, it is now the most amazing photo of the week. Mugshot. The most amazing mugshot of the week. And it's there on our website at WIBX950.com right now. Let me go to Shane Riolo from the Rome Police Department. Shane, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it. This is quite a mugshot, I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's up on our website. You can check it out at WIBX950.com. What happened? What's going on in this case?
All right, so this mugshots of Logan Shaler is wanted on two separate Rome City court warrants. One is bench warrant for criminal possession of weapon. The other one's an arrest warrant for a local city code ordinance. Mr. Shaler has failed to appear at Rome City Court as directed and has not since been located. He's known to stay in the Utica and Rome area, though.
I almost, on one hand, I'm not a big fan of making, light or fun of or, ridiculing mugshots. However, I do kind of feel like he staged this photo. He knew exactly what he wanted when that camera went. He's sending some sort of a message there, and you can see it up on our site. The beauty of Crime Stoppers, Shane, is that you simply you can use the app, you can use the website, you can make the phone call, but it is 100% anonymous, and that opens the door for you guys to get tips from people who might be nervous about submitting a tip.
Yes, it's an invaluable resource for us, sure.
So the full story, and it includes the mugshot. It comes with a bonus mugshot this week.
What a look.
From Detective Shane Riolo and the Rome Police Department and Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is up on our website at WIBX950.com. Detective, thank you so much, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day. Again, I'm not a fan of the mugshot where, some poor schlop has had a bad night and done something really, really bad and really stupid.
Right.
And they're crying and they're just in a terrible position and they have this awful mugshot. I'm not the biggest fan of going on and making fun of those mugshots. Right. But this one, I'm pretty sure, is God blessed staged.
It's there's a look of surprise.
Yes, and to me, a look like that could have a future in so many different professions.
Exactly.
You'll have to check it out for yourself at WIBX950.com. It's the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. We'll do news coming right up at WIBX.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Everybody is keeping an eye on the Fed and how an interest rate cut might affect gold prices. Gold has been hovering at around $3,400 an ounce for the last 2 months and is poised for dramatic growth with the next interest rate cut. When rates go down, returns on bonds follow, and that's why gold continues to be the safe haven asset of choice for smart investors. Don't wait until it's too late to profit from the back and forth from the Fed on interest rates. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. If you have a qualified IRA or 401k, you could receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you open your retirement account with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now or visit AdvantageGold.com and get your free gold IRA guide and find out how much bonus gold you qualify for. Call 800-900-8000 to qualify for your free $10,000 precious metals bonus when you open your qualified gold IRA with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial and tax professionals before making investment decisions. Call 800-900-8000.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Now through September 1st, get up to $180 back by mail on a Firestone prepaid MasterCard. Get up to $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair or online at tallmanstire.com.
Are you a fan of firearms and their rich history? Then you won't want to miss this. Join Sticks and Stones Firearms on August 30th for their 3rd anniversary gun auction. From rifles and shotguns to handguns, ammunition, and even military antiques, plus knives, swords, scopes, Remington guns, factory racks, and so much more is up for grabs. And the best part, no buyer's premium and no reserve. So mark your calendars. Come for the food, drinks, and experience one of the biggest gun auctions of the year. August 30th at Sticks and Stones Firearms in West Winfield. See you there. Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. The Oneida City School District is working closely with the State Ed Department to come up with a split schedule for students. Hundreds of Oneida High School students will be taking classes at Otto Shorell Middle School after the high school was severely damaged by flooding in June. The idea is for high schoolers to have classes in the first half of the day and middle schoolers the second half. The new academic year is expected to start September 4th. The Oneida County Health Department is confirming a bat is tested positive for rabies in South Utica. According to the agency, 1 person and 2 cats were exposed to the bat. The cats were treated with booster shots for their rabies vaccinations, and the person is also going to make a full recovery. Some signs of rabies in animals are frothing at the mouth, restlessness, and seizures. Anyone who notices these symptoms should contact their local animal control officer. The Rome City Police Department and Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers asking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to Detective Shane Riolo of the Rome Police Department, police are searching for 19-year-old Logan M. Shaler, who was last known to be living in the city of Rome. Riolo says Shaler is wanted on 2 separate accounts for failing to appear in front of Rome City Court. Riolo says Shaler has no known address, but is believed to be either in Rome or Utica. A Herkimer County man was arrested after state police say they found crack cocaine, methamphetamine, and drug paraphernalia during a search of his Dolgeville home. On Wednesday, state police executed a search warrant at the home of 42-year-old Antoine D. Goodwin. Troopers say he was arrested and charged with 3rd and 4th degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, 3 counts of 2nd degree criminally using drug paraphernalia as well. Goodwin was arraigned in Herkimer County Court, bail at $50,000 cash, $200,000 bond. He was sent to Herkimer County Jail. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Continuing to see improving and some beautiful weather here as we push on through the daytime hours today, tomorrow, Saturday. A little patchy fog this morning with some clouds and then some sunshine. Should get up close to 80 degrees. Tonight, clear. Lows will be in the low 50s. North Country will be cooler naturally and wrapping up the week Friday with sunshine 83. Sunny Saturday, warmer upper 80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, we have clouds, and it is, what did we say, 56 degrees. Okay, let's do Hobeika's free money question of the day. It is worth, what is it again? I almost said $5 million.
Yeah, it might as well be.
$250. $250. $250, as they say in the hip world.
Lance.
Yeah, $250. And the phone number to call is 315-736-0186. Here is your chance to win right now. Caller number
7.
7 right now at 315-736-0186.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is Medishare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with Medishare, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about Medishare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And Medishare works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Everybody is keeping an eye on the Fed and how an interest rate cut might affect gold prices. Gold has been hovering at around $3,400 an ounce for the last 2 months and is poised for dramatic growth with the next interest rate cut. When rates go down, returns on bonds follow, and that's why gold continues to be the safe haven asset of choice for smart investors. Don't wait until it's too late to profit from the back and forth from the Fed on interest rates. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. If you have a qualified IRA or 401k, you could receive up to $10,000 in free gold and silver when you open your retirement account with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now or visit AdvantageGold.com and get your free gold IRA guide and find out how much bonus gold you qualify for. Call 800-900-8000 to qualify for your free $10,000 precious metals bonus when you open your qualified gold IRA with Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000 now. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial and tax professionals before making investment decisions. Call 800-900-8000.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
I love doing 20 things at once. I do enjoy it. Good morning, it's 7:46, and it is going to be a nice day for day 2 of the New York State Fair.
Yes.
And yesterday was not a really nice one. But tomorrow we'll be up into the low 80s and sunshine on the weekend, the 80s. So it'll be a nice summer weekend after dealing with late fall, early winter yesterday, because it kind of felt like that. A little bit, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, we can't complain. I mean, look what we've had the past few weeks.
You're right. You're absolutely right. All right, let me give Steve and Clinton a chance at Hobica's free money question of the day. Today, it is worth $250. Good morning, Stephen and Clinton. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. And again, can you give my question to Tim Reed?
See, I knew this was him. I am like, now I'm really mad. I'm really mad at Bill.
I can't give Tim the question because Tim came up with it. So he knows.
I am sending you the answer telepathically.
Yeah. All right.
What a good guy.
This is it's an NFL football question for you, okay? And it's worth $250. If you can get it right, you'll have 7 seconds to answer. I hope you do it. I'd love to give away Hobica's money. Joseph and Andrew Hobica, for all your legal needs, 315-724-1600. Here is your question. By the way, I thought it would be important to make it a little easier, so I eliminated half of the wrong answers. Half of the wrong answers have been eliminated. I'll explain, and you'll know. Here we go. During the period of 1999 to 2024, how many starting quarterbacks have the Cleveland Browns had? And here's a hint. It's an even number. Ready, set, go.
6.
6. That is an even number. But this is going to shock you. From 1999 to 2024, the Cleveland Browns have had 40. 40. 40. Holy.
Steve,
wow.
I told him that he should give a range, and this is what he gave me.
I did. I eliminated 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. I eliminated all of those numbers for you.
Terrible.
All right. Well, we'll give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It's $25 gift card from the Comets, Aquavino, Taylor and the Cook, Cookies.
Yeah. This is why we don't have money for real men get tested for cancer.
Right,
you just throw it away.
Give it away. Stand by, Steve. Davey's going to hook you up, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Thank you so much. Steve loves to have.
Yeah.
What does he normally have? Tim guess, and then he gives it to charity.
Yes.
So I wish he could have won. Ryan Schmelz on the line right now from Fox News Radio. He knew that answer.
Yeah.
He knew it.
No, it's not about the Ravens.
Yeah, it's not about the Ravens. Can you believe they've had 40 starting quarterbacks?
No, I'm not shocked at all. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the
record.
after what they did to Baker Mayfield, it's just like, I mean, wow.
That's all right.
You know, what always like irked me about that, it's like, number one, he was playing hurt, and it's like, you know, if the Ravens, you know, felt like they needed to cut somebody after, you know, on a sporadic decision like that because of one bad season, you know, they could probably get away with it, and so could a team like, you know, the Chiefs or the Patriots or like the Packers, someone like that. But like, you know, the Browns had not made the playoffs in 20 years, and you, after one bad season, you move off the guy who broke that playoff drought. I mean, like, where is the loyalty in that?
I know. Yep. Meanwhile, how hard it is to find a quarterback that can actually lead and has the maturity in the game to actually be instrumental in the success of a football team. That's a big deal. Yep. And to just be like, yep, see ya. You know, it's crazy. 40 is the number. And I think you agree, Ryan. The fact that I eliminated all odd numbers.
No, he does not agree with that.
Was really generous. All right. Federal officials reporting hundreds of arrests, including some MS-13 gang members. We were just talking about them in terms of Russian gangs and MS-13 using fraudulent back surgeries in the United States. But it looks like arrests are being made. What do we know?
Oh, you know, you've seen nearly or over 500 arrests that have happened so far in D.C. since this federal crackdown. But I think the big question is, you know, what's going to happen on the prosecution side? Because I don't think it was arrests that were the big issue before. It was what can D.C. police and D.C. prosecutors actually do by the laws that are given to them. So that's going to be the big thing moving forward is are these criminals actually, if they are criminals, you know, allegations, are they actually going to face consequences that are worthy of the crimes? You know, but a lot of these are illegal aliens. They'll likely face or be subject to deportation. And you should also notice that there are a lot of guns that have been taken off the streets as well.
Well, that's a big deal. We always talk about all of these gun laws that we have, especially in states like New York, and who follows them? Well, it's the law-abiding citizen usually that follows the gun laws. All right, so they are taking people off the street. They are taking guns off the streets here, and but at the end of the day, every American is afforded a constitutional right of due process. But really, the Supreme Court a while back ruled that even those who are non-citizens have due process rights in the United States. And this stuff it almost becomes political, like we don't want you to succeed with a big arrest or a big conviction.
Yeah, I mean, look, this situation has gotten very divisive. I don't think anybody is surprised by that. It's been, you know, a very contentious situation between both the local officials here in D.C. as well as, President Trump. And then also you've got just the people of D.C. I would say if you work for a Republican member of Congress, you are very excited about this. I've even gotten some texts from, you know, staff members who work for members who are not exactly Trump loyalists. I've heard from Republicans who are not exactly Trump loyalists who are very ecstatic about this and very excited that something is being done about D.C. crime. So I think it's very, you know, kind of divisive along party lines for the most part.
So, Ryan, you know, I think of any city in the nation, Washington, D.C. was clearly the easiest one to pull it off because, you know, it's not a state. It's easy to federalize. You were saying really it's the prosecution's going to be the issue. What has the DA's office take been on this? I know what the police department and the mayor's has been, but what about the DA's?
I talk about like Judge Jeanine.
Yeah,
who's another. Well, I mean, she was there with President Trump when he announced this. I mean, she's been one of the leading voices about this federal takeover because she's not able to prosecute. She claims she's not able to really prosecute right now because of how the laws are written in D.C., especially when it comes to minors and people who are juveniles. So that's kind of been the big issue here.
Okay.
And if I can, one of the problems that does exist is every time someone gets arrested by ICE and it's learned that they are a U.S. citizen, or maybe they are not, it's been said they're criminals and they are not, does hurt when it comes to the credibility, where you have the other side saying, we can't believe any of this. So it would be more, I feel like it would be more effective if they were more accurate, where every single person is a non-U.S. citizen and every single person is a criminal, and they're not caught in these situations where they're just gathering people willy-nilly. And I think that hurts the whole movement, I believe, which is effective and has been effective.
Yeah, and I mean, look, the Trump administration is also going to face issues because you had yesterday a National Guard Humvee run into a car, be involved in a crash. That's not going to help the situation. Look, there's a lot of ways to look at this.
Yeah.
The people feel that arrests need to be made in order for you to make prosecutions, and that's what's happening right now.
Well, and let's be fair. There are Democrats out there where no arrest is going to be kosher for them.
Yep.
They don't. We're going through New York. Apparently, no one should be in jail. No one should be arrested. It is unbelievable. All right, Ryan. We have thank you. Have a wonderful day and all of that. Thanks for coming on.
Of course. Thank you as always.
Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Right? I mean, we're living with this in New York, where
exactly
no one can do any wrong.
Nope.
And everybody should be out. Sentences should be gone for all people. That is until one of those criminals breaks down the door or breaks a window of one of these.
Well,
these
as
people,
long as
all of a sudden they look at it differently.
Yeah, as long as you have your own security force to take care
That's
of
important.
yourself.
Yeah,
That's important.
And maybe you do. River Hills Properties continues to grow and be one of the fastest growing real estate companies in the area. And it just doesn't happen on its own. It's because of the services provided. And they really work for people selling their homes and for those people who are buying as well. Offices in Barneveld, Little Falls, Utica, Copenhagen, in the great city or town, village of Newport, New York, with amazing Mayor Mark Butler.
Shady mayor.
Amazing Mayor Mark Butler. And yes, the amazing Gulf Coast of Florida, Sarasota, Florida, for those who are interested in becoming one of those snowbirds and avoiding the terrible weather that we had last year, that winter weather, although there are some people who really liked it. Ross Bartel. Some people who really liked the snow. And, by the way, they have an office coming to the city of Rome. So it's all about service. It's all about taking care of the customer from start to finish, not using the lockbox, making sure your listing agent is there, keeping an eye on the house when your home is being shown. That's the River Hills way. Reach out today, River Hills Properties, LLC.com, or call 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. And if you're dealing with back pain, pain in the back, pain in the neck.
Don't go to New York City.
Pain in the don't go to New York City. We're talking about the Good Feet Store, Commercial Drive in New Hartford. We did have a few weeks ago Steve Spurbeck, trucking business owner and general manager, his family, of course, instrumental in the creation of Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And Steve said he was in a ton of pain and could not get rid of it. Went to the Good Feet Store, added the inserts, followed their program, and he said it changed his life. And it could happen for you as well. Call them or visit them. You do not need an appointment. You can walk right in. You get a free, no-obligation personalized fitting, test walk, no appointment needed. 315-999-3910 if you have questions, or you just walk in. The Good Feet Store, 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford. All right, I think we're going to squeeze in Ryan Nobles next hour, and I got a bunch more. Peter Coulter is a local author. We'll speak with him in studio. And I believe we have Chief White House correspondent with Gray TV, John Decker, is coming up as well. First, though, we have news to get it all started on WIBX.
In life, we're often faced with difficult decisions. When it comes to caring for our loved one, the choice can be overwhelming. But amidst the uncertainties, there's one decision that stands out as an act of profound love and gratitude: choosing hospice care. Hospice care isn't just about medical support. It's about honoring the journey of those who've given their all to their families. It's about providing comfort, dignity, and peace in their final days, surrounded by loved ones. Choosing hospice is a way to give back to someone who has selflessly given their life to others. At Hospice and Palliative Care, we understand the weight of this choice. Our compassionate team is here to guide you through every step of the journey, providing personalized care that respects the individuality and dignity of your loved one. When it's time to say goodbye, choose hospice care. Choose love. Choose Hospice and Palliative Care, serving Oneida, Herkimer, and Eastern Madison counties. Visit our website, hospicecareinc.org, or call 315-735-6484.
When you need us. From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years.
They could cancel each other out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Dueling redistricting in Texas and California in a battle over the 2026 congressional elections.
They try to silence our voices.
State Rep Nicole Collier was one of the Democrats who left Texas to block a vote on the new maps that could give Republicans 5 more House seats. Now that the Democrats are back...
88 ayes, 52 nays. House Bill 4 passes to engrossment.
That's the House's approval. Today, the GOP-led state Senate will vote, but Democrats plan to file lawsuits claiming the new districts violate federal law as Republicans try to block what California Democrats may approve today.
What we're doing neutralizes what's happening in Texas. People have this chance with this ballot on November 4th to stand up to the rule of law.
Governor Gavin Newsom's plan would ask voters in a special election to bypass an independent districting commission and let them redraw maps that could give Democrats 5 more House seats in the 2026 elections. We don't have last night's D.C. arrest numbers yet, but the Trump administration is touting the 550 in the past week in a crime crackdown in the nation's capital.
We brought some law and order back to Washington, D.C.
Vice President Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth went out and visited some of the National Guard troops deployed, and some residents showed up as well, angry over the troop presence.
And I think you hear these guys outside here screaming at us. Of course, these are a bunch of crazy protesters.
Hurricane Aaron turning east away from the U.S., but it is whipping up the surf and making it windy in North Carolina's Outer Banks. Fox Weather's Mike Seidel on a Kitty Hawk beach.
The waves breaking out here are 10 to 15 footers, but they're breaking well beyond the pier. One thing that's staying offshore, as we thought might happen, is the rain. We might not get any rain out of this hurricane, and once again, inland, it's a non-story. But on the beaches, we're concerned about beach erosion, the rip current.
Beaches are closed to swimmers, Florida to Massachusetts. America's listening to Fox News.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Capted Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
More cutbacks are coming in the Trump administration after all the controversial spending and job reductions through the Department of Government Efficiency.
The director of the Office of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is laying out plans for a significant shrinking of her office, announcing what she calls the OD&I 2.0. In a statement, Gabbard says over the past 20 years, the office is bloated and inefficient and rife with abuse of power and unauthorized leaks. She says a reorganization will cut the workforce and the budget by $700 million a year. The office was created in the aftermath of 9/11 to direct and oversee the nation's 18 intelligence agencies, but Gabbard has accused her predecessors of weaponizing and manipulating intelligence during and after the 2016 election. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Centers for Disease Control is also cutting back. A union that represents CDC employees says at least 600 have been fired. Today and tomorrow could be life-changing for the Menendez brothers, who are trying to get out of prison in California after their case got renewed interest over allegations that they had killed their parents because their dad had sexually abused them.
Eric and Lyle Menendez are set to make their cases for parole almost 30 years after being convicted of murdering their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in their Beverly Hills mansion in 1989. In May, the brothers, who were 18 and 21 at the time of the murders, became eligible for parole after a Los Angeles judge reduced their sentences from life without parole to 50 years to life. Eric's hearing is set for today, and Lyle is due before the panel on Friday, both done via video conference. If they are granted parole, it could be months before they're actually free, if at all. The chief legal counsel would have 120 days to review the case, and then Governor Gavin Newsom has 30 days to affirm or deny the parole. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are falling before today's trading. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. The Oneida City School District is working closely with the State Ed Department to come up with a split schedule for students. Hundreds of Oneida High School students will be taking classes at Otto Shorell Middle School after the high school was severely damaged by flooding in June. The idea is for high schoolers to have classes in the first half of the day and middle schoolers the second half. The new academic year is expected to start September 4th. The Oneida County Health Department is confirming a bat is tested positive for rabies in South Utica. According to the agency, one person and 2 cats were exposed to the bat. The cats were treated with booster shots for their rabies vaccinations, and the person is also going to make a full recovery. Some signs of rabies in animals are frothing at the mouth, restlessness, and seizures. Anyone who notices these symptoms should contact their local animal control officer. The Rome City Police Department and Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers asking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to Detective Shane Riolo of the Rome Police Department, police are searching for 19-year-old Logan M. Shaler, who was last known to be living in the city of Rome. Riolo says Shaler is wanted on 2 separate accounts for failing to appear in front of Rome City Court. Riolo says Shaler has no known address, but is believed to be either in Rome or Utica. A Herkimer County man was arrested after state police say they found crack cocaine, methamphetamine, and drug paraphernalia during a search of his Dowdesville home. On Wednesday, state police executed a search warrant at the home of 42-year-old Antoine D. Goodwin. Troopers say he was arrested and charged with 3rd and 4th degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, 3 counts of 2nd degree criminal using drug paraphernalia as well. Goodwin was arraigned in Herkimer County Court, bail at $50,000 cash, $200,000 bond. He was sent to Herkimer County Jail. It was move-in day for many college students across the region yesterday and throughout this week. The annual college tradition was also held at Utica University on Wednesday. Freshmen enjoying campus festivities as a welcome to the area and the campus throughout the week. The Central New York area is sharing a portion of more than $40 million being awarded for youth employment programs. The region is receiving over $3 million as part of an ongoing effort to reduce gun violence by providing employment and training opportunities to at-risk youth. The 2025-26 Youth Employment Program runs from September 1st through June 30th. NASCAR will be making its annual trip to upstate New York next year, but on a different date than usual. The sanctioning body said yesterday the 2026 Cup Series race at Watkins Glen International is happening on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 10th. In years past, the stars of that series have taken to the 2.45-mile road course in August or September. Tickets for the race weekend are already available at theglen.com. At day 2 of the New York State Fair, we'll see better late summer weather. Sunshine and upper 70s will develop today after rain kept numbers low for opening day on Wednesday. In sports, the Giants close out the preseason tonight. New York hosting New England at MetLife Stadium. The The G-men open the regular season on the road when they visit the Washington Commanders on September 7th. The Bills finish preseason Saturday night at 7:30 at Tampa Bay, and the Jets wrap up the preseason hosting the Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow night. In baseball, the Mets came up short, falling to the Nationals 5-4 from D.C. Brett Beatty went deep for the 15th time after slugging a solo shot. New York's winning streak is over at 3 games. The Mets wrap up their 3-game series, the rubber match, this afternoon in Washington. And the Yankees swept their 2-game set against the Rays after picking up a 6-4 victory in 10 innings from Tampa. Trent Grisham and Austin Wells each slugged a pair of home runs for the Bronx Bombers, who have won 5 straight now. New York will host the Boston Red Sox for a 4-game series that begins tonight at Yankee Stadium. The Liberty are back in action tonight. New York is hosting Chicago Sky in Brooklyn. And in the World Series, the Little League World Series, Connecticut continues to roll in the Little League World Series. Fairfield National Little League topped Las Vegas, Nevada, 7-3 in Williamsport. The New England Region champions have booked their spot in the United States Championship game coming up this Saturday afternoon. That's the latest. I'm Doug Callan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Continuing to see improving and some beautiful weather here as we push on through the daytime hours today, tomorrow, Saturday. A little patchy fog this morning with some clouds and then some sunshine. Should get up close to 80 degrees. Tonight, clear. Lows will be in the low 50s. North Country will be cooler naturally and wrapping up the week Friday with sunshine, 83. Sunny Saturday, warmer, upper 80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Hey, we have mostly cloudy skies and 58 degrees. In studio is Tim Reed, our guest host here this morning. And I did have somebody here this morning. It was Julie. Love Tim Reed when he's on. He should be permanent.
Oh, no. Julie, I used to like you.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, how nice.
I think
that's kind.
I think you had said to me in the very beginning, I'll help you out. But it ain't going to be permanent.
Exactly.
And it's probably been more permanent than we thought.
It's fine. You know what? I'm an early riser, and I'm one of the people that actually still likes you, and it's fine.
There are many. There are many.
Less every day.
We love when he's in. It makes the time go by fast.
Oh, Davey.
It does, Davey.
There's
Very
another
nice.
man. I try to call his number. I have to go through this maze because now he's this executive producer.
Well, his publicist.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
I
knew him back. I knew him back when.
Back before all the awards and the accolades.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Okay, quick break. Coming up in studio, he is a local author, wrote a book called The Endless Fall, and has a book signing coming up this weekend. And it does feel like the endless fall around here, but I believe there's a play on words. We'll get into it coming up at WIBX.
Brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Now through September 1st, get up to $180 back by mail on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Get up to $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Online at tallmanstire.com.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts, or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP Mailing Solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. Call BME Company at 315-574-8200 or visit BMEcompany.com. BME Company Office Solutions. Made simple.
At Community Memorial, we have one goal: to help you get better. Like better emergency care, our ED in Hamilton now offers the lowest average wait times in the region, a comfortable waiting area, and private patient rooms. There's now better access to orthopedic care from our world-class specialists, the latest advanced robotic technology, and walk-in clinics in New Hartford, Cazenovia, and Hamilton. We now offer quicker access to breast biopsies and colonoscopies because faster is better. And better community care with in-house surgical and rehab teams in Hamilton, urgent care, and 6 regional primary care offices. Plus, get access to better diagnostics with the latest MRI and CT imaging. Better. That's our commitment throughout the entire CMH healthcare system, providing better experiences with better services to support better outcomes. Learn more at communitymemorial.org and get better at CMH in Hamilton.
Before there was social media, streaming, and even color television, there was radio. Remember the golden days when you had to tune in to hear what happened to Hopalong Cassidy, or perhaps the Green Hornet? What if you could relive those days again? Hi, I'm Greg Bell, the host of When Radio Was, a show that's dedicated to the very best of radio's golden age. From classic performances by Jack Benny to tales of terror on Lights Out. It's all here on When Radio Was, starting every Sunday at 11 p.m., only on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Which classic broadcast will you hear next?
Hey, I want to tell you about GPO Federal Credit Union. If you're looking for a cool new ride and a payment that fits your budget, GPO Federal Credit Union's summer auto loan rate is dropped, and it is heating things up, or at least heating things back up. Now, through the end of the month, enjoy rates on 2022 to 2026 models as low as 4.74% APR for up to 5 years with checking and direct deposit. Whether you're road tripping through the Adirondacks or just upgrading your daily drive, save more and stress less with GPO by your side. Apply at gpofcu.com, or you can stop by your local GPO branch. GPO Federal Credit Union. Your journey, their commitment. Membership eligibility required. Credit restrictions apply. Loan rates are determined by overall credit history and are subject to change without notice. 0.25% rate discount is subject to checking account with direct deposit. Existing GPO loans cannot be refinanced. Promotional offer valid now through August 31st, 2025. See the branch for full details. That was pretty quick read right there, I thought.
It was very good.
Swift, right through.
Swift and
let me try
engaging.
I'll try one more. Speaking of engaging, have you ever seen Ricky Z play the piano?
I have.
It's Mazda's More to Move You sales event, and it's going on now at Steep Honey Mazda. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9%. Can you erase that? Enjoy 2.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s and CX-5s. Those were the old days.
Yes.
Plus, this is really an amazing rate. 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s, 70s, and 90s. And you can see Rick and everybody at the dealership for details.
You know,
those are good rates.
He'll play the piano, but he won't play you.
He won't play you.
Yeah,
that is exactly right. Mazda finished 2024 up 16.8% in sales year over year. It's a hot brand, a hot model. So as Rick says, come in, let's make your deal on a new Mazda. It's Steep Honey Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Hey, everybody in upstate New York. I don't know where in upstate New York, but thanks for listening to the Keeler Show. Never met this man. Don't know why I'm telling everybody to listen, but thank you very much. By the way, this is Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I have nothing else really to say to you, but I thank you for listening to me tell you to listen to this man, Bill Keeler, on WIBX.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I just want to thank you, Ann. That's really awesome. Thank you. Ann in Rome out there this morning. Working, what a wonderful community of radio listeners that we have. It's incredible.
You are blessed.
Yeah, very, very lucky. And Ryan Nobles is coming up at about 8:35 this morning. We'll squeeze him in studio right now. Is Peter Coulter. Peter, good morning. Good morning. Tight on that microphone. Not like the old days. You got to be right on this mic.
Hi. How are you?
Good. And you were an intern at one point.
No.
No.
Got that wrong.
Davey?
Nope, not an intern.
Davey sent you down the wrong path.
I have been on your show countless times.
Well, I was just about to say how much I recognize you and you were a great intern. Because it's all...
I'm glad you didn't say it.
I'm glad I did a good job.
It's all BS anyway.
Fantastic. No, I played in shows. I was a drummer.
Okay. I was going to say you look like what band?
David Grohl?
Yeah, you look like David Grohl.
Thank you.
You really do.
I like David Grohl.
I think you totally do.
He's fantastic, actually.
So, all right. So you're of the creative making
I would
makeup.
say so. Yeah.
So what bands were you in, by the way?
I was in a band called VOM, or Veil of Maya.
Okay.
And we played countless shows, festivals, a lot of stuff like that. So I was
did
on your
you
show
do an acoustic thing on the show?
No, I was the drummer.
You were the drummer. Okay.
And it was more of a I don't know, mishmash rock type of group.
So we were at the time in Washington Mills, or were you at Genesee Street with us?
Genesee Street.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
That was a cool studio.
Oh, I loved it. I loved that studio. I like this studio too. It's pretty nice.
This is nice.
Yes,
that had a stocked refrigerator though.
Oh yeah, it did.
Filled with booze.
Yeah. Oh,
that was nice. That was
I don't know.
cool.
At that time, I think I was probably like 20.
Okay, good.
So I don't think I was drinking at that time.
Good. And we would never have
And I
served.
definitely don't drink anymore.
No.
I'm like 2.5 years sober.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Congratulations on that.
Alcohol's bad for
Only the I look through my life and I try to think of all the bad things that happen in my life. There's always one common denominator. Right? My wife. No. No. It is alcohol. All right.
Man.
So from the creative side, you've written a book and it's entitled The Endless Fall.
Yes.
You can look at that. I feel like sometimes the season fall is the endless fall, but this is the fall. You're falling.
Yes.
Explain.
It's about a 15-year-old girl named Ivy who suffers through parental abuse. Her parents are addicted to drugs. And neglect and poverty, depression and bipolar manic depression. So she also has nightmares of her own suicide. And through these nightmares of her own suicide, she kind of tries to find hope to sort of stay alive, to keep going every day when life is the same, kind of just shoveled stuff back onto your plate. She's hurt. And so she kind of tries to find hope throughout her struggles.
Where do you draw from this?
Personal experiences, my own depression, my own lucid dreaming, and things that I went through when I was younger before I, found God.
Yeah.
Really. And that's really what it is. It's about her struggle to keep and find Jesus.
So, would you say this is a religious? Book?
I would say it's more of a psychological drama.
Yeah.
It has religious, spiritual aspects to it. Her
but that works for her. Religion really works.
Well,
for
it
her.
doesn't. She's been trying to kind of get away from God and stuff because her life is just so miserable. She can't find that there would be a God that would allow those kind of things in her life.
Yeah.
And
I think that happens a lot where people, when bad things happen, and bad things happen to everybody.
It's easy to have misplaced anger.
It's easy to think, how could this happen to us or to our loved one?
Right.
And what God would allow for something like that to happen.
Yeah, I just my mom just passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So thank you. And that was hard too. And if I didn't have God in my life, I don't think I would have got through it or be getting through it the way I am.
Yeah.
So it's important. It's a very important aspect of the book. But it really is more or less a reach out to anyone that is suffering through that kind of thing to show them there is a reason to hold on.
Yeah.
And there is a reason to keep going.
So did you have an alcohol? Was that your moment? The alcohol was your moment?
I was addicted to alcohol. I was an alcoholic for a while, for many years, actually. And, one day I just kind of sort of gave my life to Jesus, and I said, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and he took it from me completely. I've had no inklings to want to drink, no urges.
Yeah.
Wow. None of that stuff. He's changed my life dramatically.
Nice.
And he's really the reason why I wrote the book.
Okay, awesome.
So, Peter...
Nice, by the way, that I come out and start talking about a refrigerator filled with booze.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay.
There you go.
That's all right.
Really a good start.
Yeah, no, it's
fantastic. I'm not against it.
No, you started with the intern.
Started with the intern.
And then
Right.
you work from there.
Right.
So, Peter, I'm always interested in someone that can write and kind of get their muse to do this. Did you, when you started writing, did you know how the book was going to end, or did it just kind of
it kind of sort of
feed
just
on
came
itself?
out.
And
I started it off, and it was kind of dark, and it was kind of grim, and it sort of kind of just changed into this psychological drama. Really, it turned into something that ended up having a very strong faith aspect to it. It's not the way I had intended the book to go, but then again, when I write, I kind of sort of just let things happen.
Right, it takes you, the actual story takes you on
it does.
a journey.
Yeah, it does. And I started off writing screenplays, so really my writing is more formulated to movies.
So so you start the book, it's very dark in regards to it, you came to the end. How did, obviously you want to change people in regards to them reading it, but how did it change you?
Well, it definitely gave me a more focus on you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And the reason why I feel like that is because really I wrote the book for my daughter, and she just is turning 15 tomorrow, actually.
Wow.
And I wrote it kind of for her. I wanted her to kind of have something to read that would kind of sort of display depression, but also show a way out of it.
Right.
Other than medication.
Yeah. Coping method, a way to be able to cope.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. It is interesting where there are people who find God, and there are people who find they have children in their lives. Not everybody reacts properly, but it is amazing how becoming a dad or a mom can just completely transform.
Yes. And at first, it didn't. At first, I was like playing shows. I was going out. I was doing all that kind of stuff. And now it's, that's all I can think about.
Yeah.
My kids are number one. I have 4.
Oof.
And I love them all. And I couldn't see my life without them or my wife.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I just couldn't do that. So
is she the oldest? Is the 15-year-old?
No. My older son, who's 20, he's 20, and then I have another son, he's 18, and a younger son who's 13.
Okay.
So they're all grown up.
The book is The Endless Fall.
Yes.
And
it's available on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com, in store at Barnes & Noble New Hartford, although I did sell out of them.
Do you have a book signing this weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
It's at Book Arts and More in New Hartford.
A raw emotional journey from despair to redemption. The Endless Fall is a powerful story of pain, survival, and the hope found in the most unexpected light. That's really profound. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you. I think you need this.
Yeah, I think
give it a read. Give it a read.
After yesterday.
24 hours.
Have a drink and then read the book.
Well, or not.
Not me.
Or not.
Or not. Whichever one you want to do.
All right, good stuff.
Thank you so much for having me
Peter
on.
Coulter,
I really
thank you. I appreciate it. Did enjoy our internship.
I loved it. Every second of it was amazing to me.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but I learned as much as maybe you learned.
Oh, I learned a lot.
All right,
I hope I can come back to intern sometime this fall.
I hope so too. All right, good luck with the book signing.
Thank you so much.
All right, quick break at WIBX.
Are your windows old and tired? Hard to put up and down? Builder's grade windows just aren't made to last very long. Patriot Home Solutions is a different kind of window company. No games or gimmicks, no long drawn-out sales presentations. Just high-quality, custom-fit windows at reasonable prices made right here in New York. And right now, you can get up to $2,000 off new windows from Patriot and NYSERDA, plus 0% interest for 18 months. Most homeowners qualify for the savings, and income is not one of the requirements. So write this number down, 315-401-0440. That's 401-0440. Patriot Home Solutions will tell you right over the phone if you qualify. Don't miss your chance to save up to $2,000 on new windows. Funds are limited, so call before they run out. Learn more at callpatriothomesolutions.com. That's callpatriothomesolutions.com.
We didn't take to retirement like we thought we would.
We got bored.
So I thought I'd book a trip to Italy to celebrate retiring.
We didn't speak Italian.
We didn't then. We do now. Because of Babbel.
Babbel is the refreshingly easy-to-use app for learning a new language. With more than a dozen languages to choose, Babbel uses immersive lessons to teach you vocabulary and grammar in a way that sticks.
We set a goal for 15 minutes per day.
That's all we needed.
And Italy was just...
Bellissima.
That means beautiful.
In Italian.
From interactive lessons led by experts to conversation tips on real-life topics, Babbel's revolutionary teaching style keeps language in your head and easy to remember. Celebrating 15 million subscriptions sold. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Here's the latest from the WIBX newsroom. I'm Doug Callum. The Oneida City School District is working closely with the State Ed Department to come up with a split schedule for students. Hundreds of Oneida High School students will be taking classes at Otto Shorell Middle School after the high school was severely damaged by flooding in June. The idea is for high schoolers to have classes in the first half of the day and middle schoolers the second half. The new academic year is expected to start September 4th. The Oneida County Health Department is confirming a bat is tested positive for rabies in South Utica. According to the agency, one person and two cats were exposed to the bat. The cats were treated with booster shots for their rabies vaccinations, and the person is also going to make a full recovery. Some signs of rabies in animals are frothing at the mouth, restlessness, and seizures. Anyone who notices these symptoms should contact their local animal control officer. The Rome City Police Department and Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers asking for the public's help in locating this week's Wanted Person of the Week. According to Detective Shane Riolo of the Rome Police Department, police are searching for 19-year-old Logan M. Shaler, who was last known to be living in the city of Rome. Riolo says Shaler is wanted on two separate accounts for failing to appear in front of Rome City Court. Riolo says Shaler has no known address, but is believed to be either in Rome or Utica. A Herkimer County man was arrested after state police say they found crack cocaine, methamphetamine, and drug paraphernalia during a search of his Dolgeville home. On Wednesday, state police executed a search warrant at the home of 42-year-old Antoine D. Goodwin. Troopers say he was arrested and charged with third and fourth degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, 3 counts of second-degree criminal using drug paraphernalia as well. Goodwin was arraigned in Herkimer County Court, bail at $50,000 cash, $200,000 bond. He was sent to Herkimer County Jail. That's the latest. I'm Doug Cowan for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Continuing to see improving and some beautiful weather here as we push on through the daytime hours today, tomorrow, Saturday. A little patchy fog this morning with some clouds and then some sunshine. Should get up close to 80 degrees. Tonight, clear. Lows will be in the low 50s. North Country will be cooler naturally and wrapping up the week Friday with sunshine 83. Sunny Saturday, warmer upper 80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Well, we're almost at are you ready? A sweltering 60 degrees. It is 59 and cloudy right now. Coming up, we'll speak with Ryan Nobles from NBC. And we can talk a little bit about the separation of MSNBC to MS Now and now NBC, which will be on its own. I think they lose the Golf Network, too.
Really?
Goes to MSNBC.
So I know I saw MSNBC's like having to hire ton of people because
because they're losing
a lot of the talents all
they're
gone.
losing all that built-in news from NBC.
Right.
So they won't have that anymore. Interesting. So we'll speak with Ryan coming right up here at WIBX. I want to talk about lead in the home. Lead on the walls, lead on the windows, lead on the doors, paint that is lead. If your home was built before 1978, there's a very good chance that you have lead throughout. And there's a program out there to help. LeadSafeUtica.com. Go to leadfreemv.org, which will get you there. Or you can call them at 315-724-4197 and ask about an application because they offer up to $30,000 per unit. Whether you're a landlord or a property owner, homeowner, or maybe you're a tenant and you're trying to protect your family and your kids, reach out today, 315-724-4197, or go to leadfreemv.org is the website. You know that lead, just in the air, if it's the friction from windows opening and closing or doors opening and closing, that gets into the air. It's breathed in by so it's not just eating the kids licking the walls or eating paint chips. They're breathing this in, and it can have horrible effects. Kids 1 to 2 should be and need to be tested in New York for lead poisoning, which can harm a child's brain, nervous system, speech, hearing, learning, and behavior. Go to leadfreemv.org for details. As I said, up to $30,000 per unit. This could be fixed for you, and the safety of your child is the most important thing.
Oneida County has the highest lead issues of any county in the state.
And that's what they're trying to correct here.
Yep.
Talk to your doctor or your healthcare provider today, and for details, go to leadfreemv.org.
Hey, if you're sending your child off to college this fall, make sure you give them more than a backpack and a laptop. You need to give them peace of mind. This world is a very dangerous place. Go to Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A. It is the less lethal launcher, and it is the ultimate off-campus protection without the legal, financial, or emotional burden of using a firearm. I carry one every single day. I recommend anyone concerned about personal safety or the safety of their family, you need one as well. By the way, it's legal in all 50 states. They can ship it straight to your door. And don't forget, over 500 government agencies now are using this incredible technology because you can incapacitate any perpetrator for 30 to 40 minutes. Legal all 50 states, no background check required, and it fires those kinetic rounds. Just go to byrna.com, all hand assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Visit Byrna, byrna.com today and find the right launcher for your family. That's byrna.com.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be backbreaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
Now through September 1st, get up to $180 back by mail on a Firestone prepaid MasterCard. Get up to $80 when you buy a set of 4 eligible Firestone tires. Get an additional $100 when you make an eligible tire purchase with your CFNA credit card at Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. Whether you're in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, or Herkimer, their team of professionals are ready to serve you. Subject to credit approval, restrictions apply. See Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair or online at tallmanstire.com.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I have a few things to mention. Tim
Yes.
Reed, just a few.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Happy 50th birthday to Monica Hodkinson, who is celebrating her 50th birthday today. And a special...
Do you think, is she happy that you mentioned the number? Wasn't it just
Well, I feel like there's 50 when you look at me,
Oh.
and then there's 50, although I'm 61 now. But when I was 50.
I wasn't going to say, I took you for 50.
There's 50 when you look at me.
Yeah.
And then there's 50 when you look at Monica.
Oh.
See, it's a
I
different
thought
world.
she was 29.
It's a different world. It's
Yeah.
almost like someone who is 29, right?
You got out of that very well.
Yeah, I thought that was well done.
Good.
You know, listen, I spend my whole life pulling myself out of holes.
Stop digging.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. We're going to be speaking with Dr. Shemaleski and Dr. Zielinski soon. They're looking for tomorrow, as a matter of fact, they're looking for a new provider, and you do not have to be a DO. You could. So it doesn't have to be an osteopath, but they're looking for a new provider because their business, the Falcon Clinic, is serving so many people. They're looking for assistance.
Mhm.
So whether nurse practitioners, doctors, reach out today. This might be a great fit, and people love the Falcon Clinic. All of this under one roof, and it includes everything from family doctors to that OMT, osteopathic manipulation treatment, which makes all the difference in the world. For me, it's preventative. Dr. Kosminski, acupuncture. Call today, the Falcon Clinic, 315-507-4751. Ryan Nobles is from not MS, but NBC.
Yeah.
And good.
MSNBC gave him his walking papers.
Yeah, they
got
rid of you.
I'll still be on MSNBC at least through October, maybe through the end of the year.
Okay.
We'll see. So it's a very slow divorce.
Do you remember Ryan Burr?
Sure. Yeah.
You're losing him too.
Why? Because he's on the Golf Channel.
Yeah.
I think I technically took his job at WKTV, right?
I think so. He was. I think he was there just before you were at KTV,
right?
And now he's with the Golf Channel. So.
Yes. And he does ACC basketball for the CW network, I think. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt KTV has produced. They've only produced one Ryan Nobles.
That's true.
They've produced many. Ryan,
for better, for worse.
let's go in reverse on this. I really wanted the Mets to sweep. I mean, we can live with a series win, but I really wanted a sweep of the Nationals, considering they have Philadelphia coming up, and they're gonna need to sweep Philadelphia to pick up ground.
They need to sweep every team below them, I think.
Yeah, I know.
They've been in such a tailspin since basically the beginning of July, after the 4th of July around the All-Star break, and they really can't afford to lose to teams that are worse than them, and they've got to beat teams that are better than them on the standings. And they got the Reds nipping at their heels right now. The Reds are scrappy, and they're happy to be here, and they've got nothing to lose, and so they're going to go for it. Where the Mets have everything to lose, given their payroll and all the expectations this year. So they got to figure out a way to get it right. I mean, I thought every time you think they've got things back on track, they have a dud like they had last night.
Yeah, a game that they could have won and should have won, but just could not. The offense could not explode.
Well, it doesn't help to give them a 4 spot like in the second inning.
Yep.
By the second inning, and then you got to be clawing back the entire game. So that's what happened last night.
How about the McLean? Who was a rookie that came up from Syracuse and pitched a gem the other day.
Well, there's a lot of clamoring among the Mets fan base that this starting rotation of veterans, when kind of reclamation projects, which is David Stearns' that's kind of his calling card. They just have not performed the way his reclamation products last year did. And you've got a healthy stable of arms that are in the minor leagues that they're just, they're nervous to bring up. But, man, if you can't count on someone like Clay Holmes to get you 5 innings every 5th day, and you got a kid in the minor leagues that's, got an ERA hovering below 2, you got to at least consider something. I mean, Holmes could move to the bullpen, which is where he's been his entire career, and be, pitch 3 solid innings as opposed to not being able to pitch 5. And you bring up a kid that can pitch 5 or 6 innings with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do it. I mean, he brought McClain up, which seems to be maybe if it's for anything, it's just to extend the rotation out to give them more options. But I don't know. But the starting pitching right now is what concerns me the most. The bats, I think, will be there. It's the starting pitching that is just not very consistent.
A real problem, no doubt, a real problem. And then the Buffalo Bills, yes, I think we lost 36-3 or something to the Bears last year.
I think they shut them. Oh, last year, yes. I was at that game last year, the last year's preseason game. Yes.
That was horrible. But it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. But it does. You do wonder about the safety position for the Bills.
I think the defensive backfield right now is the biggest question mark. Yeah. You know, they had for years they were so rich back there with Poyer and Hyde and White when he was in his prime, and then they brought in Russell Douglas. They've got a lot of untested guys back there, people that have been hurt the entire preseason. And you wonder is this the year that Cole Bishop steps up and becomes the star they think he has? They think he's got the potential there. You know, there's a lot of just question marks. You know, they got Taron Johnson, who might be one of the best defensive backs in the league, but DeMar Hamlin, you know, we love DeMar Hamlin for everything he's been through, but he's at best a mediocre player. He's not a star. He's not going to hurt you, but he's not going to help you. Yeah. And if they're going to get over the hump, they need people that are going to make plays. And they got the kid they drafted is still hurt, so that's where my biggest concern lies right now. Is the defensive backfield.
I agree.
I see that they're talking to Gabe Davis again. He may be swinging back around.
Yeah. I'm very intrigued by that. I also have concerns about the wide receiver room.
Yeah.
Shakir is hurt. They do not have a stud. And not that Gabe Davis is a stud, but he's a guy who
you can depend on.
Solid citizen.
3 games can catch 3 touchdown passes that you don't expect. And he has got a good relationship with Josh. So I don't know. Curtis Samuel can't get on the field. And Davis, who was also hurt most of last year, has been rehabbing and preparing himself. So I'll be interested to see it. It seems like the Steelers are really interested in him, too. I'd be very surprised if he's not on a roster. And I wouldn't be upset if he ended up with the Bills, because I don't necessarily think that there's a better option than him in the people that they're deciding by right now.
Davey.
Could Amari Cooper be coming back?
I mean, I haven't heard that. He also doesn't have a team right now. He was helpful to them last year, but he wasn't the problem solver that they wanted him to be. And he's got more tread on the tires. So anything's possible. I don't know. Every time Brandon Beane is asked about the wide receiver core, he downplays it as being a problem. For some reason, he has just decided that Josh Allen can make anybody amazing, and they don't need a big stud receiver. So
we saw it at the very end of the season last year. It's all about catching those passes that you can't believe they just caught.
Yep.
That makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, and Josh can put it there.
Yep.
But, when you're putting it in a tight window, you still need someone with elite skills to bring that ball in.
When you think about last year, as the season ended last year with that throw, the fact that Josh Allen got that ball there under pressure in that situation – and it wasn't caught, and that's how the season ended. It spoke volumes, I felt.
Yeah, and it seems like, listen, they can get there, right? Getting to the AFC Championship, they've been able to do.
Yeah.
It's that next step. And I don't know that they've solved that next step. I don't know if we know definitively. I mean, if you look at the 2 biggest problems in the playoffs, it's always been that the defense is just not stout enough.
Yeah.
And then there isn't a person outside of Josh to make that big play at the end of the game.
You're absolutely
I don't know
right.
if they solved either of those problems right now.
All right, speaking with Ryan Nobles, NBC, and all right, what are you working on? What do you? One more topic I'll squeeze here.
Well, I actually have a very interesting story, Bill, that I just got back from, and that's why I missed you yesterday. I was in South Dakota at Mount Rushmore. Why do you think I went to Mount Rushmore? Do you have any guesses?
Well, I believe they're trying to
new face.
They're trying to add a new face to the. Oh boy.
Yes, I went to Mount Rushmore to discuss the feasibility of adding Donald Trump to Mount Rushmore, and it's going to be a story probably early next week on NBC Nightly News.
Nice.
And what I learned by going there and talking to experts is that it's not feasible in any way, shape, or form for about 1 million different reasons. So there's
interesting.
Artistic reasons why you can't do it. I mean, this is a priceless work of art. The one guy I talked to is a former superintendent at Mount Rushmore, said it'd be like adding another disciple to Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. There are historic reasons. In general, we don't memorialize people while they're still alive and while history has not fully adjudicated their performance in office. And there's also political reasons. Half the country would sign up for it immediately.
Yes.
The other half of the country would be angry as all get out. And I talked to people that were visiting Mount Rushmore that felt both ways. But then there's also just the structural and geological issues involved in it. It's not physically possible to add another face to Mount Rushmore. People don't realize how actually thin the mountain is. It looks like there's a lot more room back there, but there's actually a valley that runs in between the mountain and the rock behind it. And so it just would not be physically possible. So we're going to break down all of those issues and kind of set the record straight next week. I don't think it's going to change and stop President Trump's supporters from clamoring for it, but it's not a realistic thing that's ever going to happen.
What if you replaced one of them? I mean...
Well, that's part of the problem is that people don't realize that the rock itself has these huge fractures in it, just massive fractures that they are constantly monitoring and making adjustments to prevent the whole thing from falling down. If you went up there and started blasting the rock, it would completely question the integrity of those other four faces. But they believe, this is an interesting thing I learned about Mount Rushmore, they believe that edifice in a reasonable facsimile of the condition it's in could be there for 10,000, 20,000 years.
Wow.
And the original sculptor was so aware of that he built a little room behind the mountain where he wanted a record of what that mountain was and why that sculpture was created, because he was worried that 20,000 years from now, people would come across Mount Rushmore after the cultures collapsed or society has changed. They'd come across it like the pyramids and not know what it meant. He didn't finish that, but what they did was they put what he was talking about in that little cavern that he had carved out in the back of the mountain, and they capped it. So, think
like
of
a time
the Planet
capsule.
Of the Apes.
Yeah.
And somebody comes across that 20,000 years from now, like, who are these guys' faces? It was a fascinating thing that I learned.
And when you really look at it, it is really an amazing piece of art.
It is. I have to say, it's one of those things that I'd never been there before. It's my first trip to Mount Rushmore, and it lives up to the hype. And South Dakota also is just an amazing state. We went to the Badlands, which is a national park at sunset, and it was absolutely spectacular. South Dakota is a really, really neat place to visit. So
that's very cool.
To go there.
Okay, interesting stuff. Quickly, your thoughts on Texas and redistricting and California and potentially New York to follow. Debacle that it could be getting underway. Your thoughts, what happens next?
It's going to happen. We cannot take the genie out of the bottle now or put the genie back in the bottle now. It's out. Texas is, I think, going to confirm it today. California's already got the ballot measure moving. So, you're going to have a 5-seat swap. Basically, 5 Republican seats will go to Texas and 5 Democratic seats will go to California. And then you'll have to see if there's anything that Hochul can do in New York. Then does Florida do it? Does Missouri do it? Does Ohio do it? I don't think it's a great situation, and I think it's out of control, and I don't see what is going to stop it. It is, we could be in a situation where in 2026, instead of having 40 competitive seats, maybe we're down to 10 competitive seats, and maybe none in states like New York. I mean, I think from a New Yorker's perspective, if you're a red state person in a blue state like New York, you've got to be really concerned about this, because the narrow bit of representation that you have right now with the Claudia Tenney's and the Mike Lawlers and the people, those people that are going to Washington basically on your behalf, even if if you're represented by John Manion, but he's not, doesn't reflect your views. At least you have these other Republicans, at least Stefanik, that are going to Washington to advocate Republican values on your behalf. Those are going to go away. I mean, you could be in a situation where there's Massachusetts doesn't have a single Republican representing it on any level.
About it.
And that could happen in states all across the country. So this
It's going to be
too far gone at this point, I think.
I am afraid it is.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine living in one of those 10 slots that are going to be the bad routes? Those poor people.
Yeah,
the amount of money that's going to be poured into them.
That is actually an excellent point. You're going to take, all of that money that's spread out around the country is going to be pushed into those 10 states, and it's going to be outrageous. That's 100%. And guess where one of those districts is right now? It's where you live. Of all the districts that could survive as a competitive district, I think it could be Manion's seat. That might be one.
22nd. Yep, I agree.
So you guys will still get a lot of attention there.
Yeah, they're right.
Thanks.
That's one they think they can win. So interesting. All right, Ryan. We'll see where it all goes. Go Mets. Go Bills. And have a great
for the country.
rest of the week. Okay, great for the country.
Right.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right.
Actually, Josh Allen on Mount Rushmore, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. I think we could all agree on that. Couple things in Sarah's Flooring Outlet: the best flooring, quality carpet, gorgeous ceramic tile, durable LVP waterproof laminate and vinyl, the best in floor covering, not seconds, the absolute best. It's in Sarah's, the largest inventory in the area, and it's all in stock. It's all there for you to go through and find something unique for your home. Or maybe it's just, you want subway tile. Whatever it is you're looking for, they have the best prices, and you'll get the price guarantee. You'll always be able to say, well, they were going to charge this on their advertisement, and Sarah's will take care of that and beat their price. 6 months interest-free financing as well. Now you see when more people buy from the big store, it's in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy. You need new windows for your basement? Brank Construction has you covered. Need new work done on your foundation. It's beginning to crumble away. They can fix that and get you winterized and to the point where it's sturdy for the next 30 years. It's taken care of. Brank has you covered. From everything from masonry and concrete work, foundation repair, old stone walls, old block walls, to basement windows that are solid and keep that cold this winter out of your basement. Call Brank Construction today, 315-894-3481. Let me, before we get out of here, go to the one and only John Decker. John is the chief White House correspondent with Cray TV. John, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Bill. It's been quite a week. I don't think I spoke to you last week.
You didn't.
I was in Alaska. For the president's meeting with President Putin, and this is the first time I'm speaking to you since Monday when the president met with President Zelensky in the Oval Office. A really remarkable few days as it relates to the president trying to bring about an end to this war that's gone on for 3.5 years between Russia and Ukraine.
One of the things I'd like your opinion that I do not see happening is Trump, Putin, Zelensky sitting in the same room. I don't believe Putin will allow that to happen because it legitimizes someone that Putin feels is illegitimate.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
And so if a meeting happens, it happens because Putin signs off on that. Zelensky, he said in the Oval Office, anytime, any place, I'll meet with Putin. He's anxious to have such a meeting, but not for Putin. And his foreign minister is really slow walking this idea of a meeting happening anytime soon between Putin and Zelensky.
Yeah.
It is interesting because the same way that Russia was able to use the Putin opening ceremony, if you will, the red carpet walk, the fact that he was right there with Donald Trump, legitimizing Putin, saying we're back on the world stage. That's exactly what Ukraine would do, or at the very least, what Russia feels Ukraine would do.
Well, that's right. That's problematic for Russia. It's problematic for Putin because he's got this image and message to sell to his people back home, and that's not the message that he wants those citizens of Russia to actually see. They've been told a completely different story about this war And it's not a free press in Russia, so they believe it. They believe it when they watch it.
I want to. This is a great opportunity for us. John Decker, chief White House correspondent, there asking questions right there, watching it firsthand. Was this a win? Is it a draw? Is it a loss? How do you perceive the whole thing? You were there.
Well, I think it's in the middle of. It's halftime, essentially. I think that's the best way to look at it. It's like a football game. I think it's too soon to talk about wins and losses because it's still playing out. This was a good week, but the momentum, I think, has stalled. And we'll see if that momentum can be gotten back, by President Trump, and whether or not he can get a meeting on the table between Putin and Zelensky in the near term. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen in the near term, and that's frustrating, I think, for the president.
One win for President Trump. Zelensky wore a suit.
Oh, yes.
It was a Beatles 1964 special, but it was a suit. Yeah.
And the reporter that gave him all the trouble was wearing the same suit from the last time.
that was something.
Dinged, right? That was something.
Yeah. Well, and again, listen, you're more than a fly on the wall. You get to ask questions. John, it's amazing that you get to witness this history as it unfolds. It's just incredible. We appreciate getting
I agree with you.
your
I
visual.
feel that in the moment when that happens. Yeah. Absolutely, Bill. Yeah, I'm thankful for that.
All right. Listen, have a great week, and who knows what's next. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Bill. Talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. John Decker, as we said, is the chief White House correspondent with Great TV. Tim, as always, thank you.
Welcome. You're going to get
here tomorrow. We got to.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, celebrating 100 years.
It's as if nothing were changing at all. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky's reaction to another Russian barrage overnight. More than 500 drones, dozens of missiles launched into Ukraine as Russia warns against security guarantees the U.S. and Europe are working on as part of any possible peace agreement. Fox's Peter Ducey's at the White House.
Over the last couple days, our heads were spinning. We had Putin in the U.S., Zelensky in the U.S., all these European leaders in the U.S., all to talk about the end of the war in Ukraine. It felt like there was a lot of momentum to get this done really, really quickly, but that momentum appears to have slowed down, although that is something the vice president says won't be the case for long.
We shouldn't say that they can't sit down until you've figured out every little detail. Sometimes them sitting down is what facilitates